लाहौर, जहां सितंबर की आखिरी जुमेरात है और ये पहला दिन है कायद-ए-आज़म ट्रॉफी में लाहौर और कराची के बड़े मुकाबले का, जिसके हम सब बड़ी देर से मुंतज़िर थे। लाहौर वाइट्स की टीम कराची रीजन्स से खेलेगी गद्दाफी स्टेडियम में और ये 4 रोज़ा मैच आप बराह रास्त देखेंगे पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट के हेडक्वार्टर से। मौसम और मतला बिल्कुल साफ है। आज के जा रहे हैं पेशावर रीजन्स और लाहौर ब्लूज की टीमें एबटाबाद स्टेडियम में आमने सामने हैं। फैसलाबाद और रावलपिंडी का मुकाबला हो रहा है रावलपिंडी क्रिकेट स्टेडियम में, और फाटा और मुल्तान की टीमें शोएब अख्तर स्टेडियम KRL रावलपिंडी में रूबरू है। अब तक उसके सबसे ज्यादा 48
और वो प्रोसेस जितना मेरा अच्छा होता रहा, प्रोसेस में सबसे मेरा जो मेन इम्पोर्टेंट ज़्यादातर नहीं करता था वो मैं बॉलिंग थोड़ी कम करता था। अब मैंने अपने प्रोसेस में बॉलिंग में ज़्यादा इजाफा किया है, बॉलिंग ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा करना शुरू की और टारगेट बॉलिंग करना शुरू की है।
एबटाबाद पिंडी में बॉलर्स को सपोर्ट मिलती है, यहाँ थोड़ा टेस्ट होगा, यहाँ विकेट लेने का क्या बॉलिंग प्लान है आपका?
बॉलिंग सिंपल है, मेरे हाथ में विकेट लेना नहीं है, मेरे हाथ में अच्छी बॉलिंग करना है और वो मैं उसके लिए पूरी कोशिश करूँगा। विकेट्स मेरे हाथ में नहीं है।
आखिर में मैं ये ज़रूर पूछना चाहूँगी कि आपका ताल्लुक लियारी से है और आपके आसपास तो फुटबॉल का राज होता है, तो क्रिकेट में कैसे आ गए?
वैसे बेसिकली मैं आपको बता दूँ, मैं नॉर्थ नाजो में शिफ्ट हो गया हूँ अभी। हाँ, वैसे तो बेसिकली सारे फुटबॉलर्स हैं वहाँ पर, लेकिन मेरे जो सारे कजन्स हैं वो क्रिकेटर हैं, क्रिकेट के शौकीन हैं। दैट्स व्हाई कि मैं भी क्रिकेट।
चले हम दुआ करते हैं कि आगे भी सीजन में।
Spreading of grass here and it's dry and hard as well. Closer look, you see the grass and the dryness of the pitch. Faster bowlers will really have a good say here and they'll be licking their lips to bowl on this pitch. Extra pressure to put the ball in the right areas consist
और अच्छा रिजल्ट लेके आए। 4 मैचेस हो गए, रिजल्ट नहीं आया, तो क्या ऐसी
स्विंग ढूंढ रहे थे। अच्छा शॉट खेला, पहला स्कोरिंग शॉट लाहौर के लिए अली ज़रियाब ने लगाया। पिछले मैच में जल्दी आउट हुए थे सिराजुद्दीन के बाउंसर किताब नहीं ला सकेंगे, लेकिन बेहतर फॉर्म में हैं, वो जाहिर हुआ है इस शॉट से भी।
मीर हमजा को स्विंग जरूर मिली, थोड़ा सा ओवर पिच था, लेकिन इस तरह की सरफेस पे स्विंग हासिल करने के लिए लेंथ अपनानी पड़ती है। अच्छा पॉजिटिव शॉट था अली ज़रियाब का, अच्छे बाउंसर ने सिराज की तरफ से इनको अनडू किया था, लेकिन टेक्निकली स्ट्रांग है और स्विंग बॉलिंग खेलना जानते हैं।
अली ज़रियाब ने 180 रन की इनिंग्स खेली थी रावलपिंडी के खिलाफ गद्दाफी स्टेडियम में अब से चंद दिन पहले। लेकिन ये मुख्तलिफ गेंद का खेल है, क्योंकि कराची का जो बॉलिंग अटैक है उसमें तजुर्बा है, इसके अलावा वैरायटी है, इन फॉर्म बॉलर्स हैं उनके पास। जैसे गुलाम मुदस्सिर को हमने देखा 2 ही मैचों में, एक फील्डर को खड़ा किया गया है, ये अच्छी फील्ड पोजीशन है। सरफराज अहमद क्योंकि आजमूदा कार कप्तान है, टेस्ट क्रिकेट में भी कप्तानी की हुई है, इसलिए यकीनी तौर पर विकेट लेने के लिए ये सारे जतन करेंगे। थोड़ा सा सरसरी अंदाज में खेला, अगले कदम पर जो है वो आए जरूर आखिर में, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि मजबूर होके
थोड़ा
FC कॉलेज एंड से अपना पहला ओवर शुरू करेंगे। अली गुलाम मुदस्सिर और दानिश अजीज को भी ज़ाहिर सरफराज अहमद बुलाएंगे, वो भी लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिन बॉलिंग करते हैं। ये एक इंफरादियत है इस टीम की, लगता है बॉलिंग इनके बाएं हाथ का खेल है।
कोई भी फॉर्मेट हो, लेफ्ट आर्म पेसर्स या लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर्स जो हैं उनके लिए ज़्यादा अच्छा मौका होता है कि वो आउट कर सकते हैं। बैटर्स इतने कंफर्टेबल नहीं होते उनके खिलाफ, तो देखते हैं आज लाहौर कैसे इनको हैंडल करता है। 2 ओवरों के बाद 4 बगैर किसी नुकसान के लाहौर वाइट्स।
होम टीम है लाहौर वाइट्स, जिसमें तैयब ताहिर भी हैं। थोड़ा सा खुद को बदकिस्मत समझ रहे होंगे, सेंट्रल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जगह नहीं बना सके। तैयब ताहिर उम्मीदवार थे ये भी सेंट्रल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की फहरिस्त में आने के। खासा मोहतात होकर अब तक बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जिस लेंथ पर ये दोनों पेसर बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं इनको रन्स के भी मौके मिलेंगे, क्योंकि मिड ऑफ और कवर पॉइंट के दरमियान खासा बड़ा गैप कप्तान ने छोड़ा हुआ है।
स्विंग को और पेस को हैंडल करने के लिए ये एक बहुत ही कारामद टेक्निक होती है, स्पेशली जब सरफेस ऐसी हो जो बॉलर्स को सपोर्ट कर रही हो, तो आपको कोशिश ये करनी चाहिए कि बल्ला आपसे दूर ना निकले। बॉलर्स की यही कोशिश। तीसरी जो स्लिप है वो कदरे आगे खड़ी है, लेकिन फिर भी आपने बिल्कुल सही निशानदी की कि जो फासला है वो बहुत कम है। इसमें काफ़ी एट टाइम्स ट्रिकी हो जाता है कि किसका कैच है, कौन जाए अटेम्प्ट करे।
99 पर ये दो ऐसे हिंसे हैं जिसे वो जल्द अज जल्द पीछे छोड़ना चाहता है।
बिल्कुल, स्पेशली सिफर पे तो। और एक वो कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट भी होता है कि आपने एक रन बना लिया, क्योंकि जब तक आप सिफर पे रहते हैं बहुत आपके माइंड में ये चलता रहता है कि आप अभी तक ऑफ द मार्क नहीं हुए।
कजाफी स्टेडियम की पिच की रंगत आज खासी बदल गई है। हरियाली पिच है, जा बजा आपको इस पे घास नजर आ रही है। फास्ट बॉलर्स यही उम्मीद करेंगे कि ये घास जो है ये तरोताज़ा रहे, हालांकि गर्मी खासी सख्त है, ये बड़ी जल्दी इस तरावत को ख़त्म कर सकती।
बिल्कुल, पिच में सपोर्ट ज़रूर है, पहला घंटा बॉलर्स को मिलेगा ज़रूर। अब उसको यूटिलाइज कैसे करना है ये बॉलर्स के ऊपर है, क्योंकि अभी तक कोई थ्रेटनिंग बॉलिंग देखने को नहीं मिली। विद इन स्टंप्स खिला रहे हैं, स्ट्रेंथ पे खिला रहे हैं कराची।
ड्राइव करना पसंद करते हैं नई गेंद पे भी अहमद शहजाद, लेकिन इसका रास्ता रोका कवर के फील्डर ने। इस ओवर में 3 रन बने, 4 ओवर्स के बाद स्कोर है 12। एजाज चीमा एक खासे मुतहर्रिक हैं हमेशा की तरह, बॉलिंग कोच हैं लाहौर वाइट्स की। उनके साथ अहमद दानियाल और बिलावल की वापसी हुई है टीम में, लेकिन ये जो आपकी स्क्रीन के इंतहाई दाएं जान में नीचे बैठे हुए साद खान, इनको आज भी मौका नहीं मिला बदकिस्मती से। उम्दा शॉट खेला इस बार स्क्वायर के सामने, यहां पर तीसरा रन भी बनना चाहिए। अहमद शहजाद पलट आए हैं, पहली बार हमने 3 रन बनते हुए देखे इस मैच में उम्दा कवर ड्राइव के जरिए।
स्विंग की ताक में मीर हमजा, स्विंग मिल भी रहा है लेकिन इस बार ओवर पिच कर दी थी, जिसका भरपूर फायदा उठाया अली जरियाब ने, और उनकी टेक्निक और टैलेंट की थोड़ी सी झलक नजर आई। बैट का फेस थोड़ा ओपन किया, ओवर हिट करने नहीं गए, इसमें विकेट लेने के ज़्यादा चांसेस हो। अभी उस तरह लेंथ और लाइन नजर नहीं आई कराची वाइट के बॉलर्स की जानिब से।
ड्राइव करने के लिए गए, इस बार बाल बाल बचे। अहमद शहजाद ने लूज शॉट खेला ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर।
ये अच्छा गेंद था, खिंचा हुआ गेंद था, बल्ले के बाहरी किनारे को छोड़ता हुआ गया। थोड़ा सा इनवाइट जरूर किया था ड्राइव के लिए अहमद शहजाद को, और वो वही करने चले गए। सीधा एक्स्ट्रा कवर मिड ऑफ की जानिब खेलने की कोशिश थी, लेकिन बहुत ही शानदार डिलीवरी मीर हमजा की।
फिर से अटेम्प्ट किया था लेकिन गेंद ज्यादा बाहर थी ऑफ स्टंप के। अहमद शहजाद ये भी सीजन में एक सेंचुरी बना चुके हैं। यहीं पर इन्होंने रावलपिंडी के खिलाफ सेंचुरी स्कोर की थी, लेकिन उसके दोनों तरफ उतने रन्स बने नहीं हैं।
पिछले मैच में भी थोड़ा सा लगा कि शेल में बहुत ही मोहतात होकर खेल रहे थे। जो इनको ड्राइव का भी गेंद मिल रहा था वो उन्होंने खुल के नहीं मारे। आज बेहतर इंटेंट नज़र आ रही है। जो आगे गिरा हुआ बॉल है उस पर शॉट मारने जा रहे हैं, यूटिलाइज करने जा रहे हैं।
खुर्रम मंसूर अब पहली स्लिप की पोजीशन पर मौजूद हैं, लेकिन खुर्रम मंसूर, सरफराज अहमद, पुराना पेयर है स्लिप कॉर्डन का, सिंध और कराची के लिए। अच्छी ओपनिंग बैट्समैन है।
शहजाद बखूबी जानते हैं कि उनकी ऑफ स्टंप कहाँ है। अक्सर आप इन्हें देखेंगे बहुत ही एतमाद से लीव करते हैं। पाँव इनका पूरा कवर करता है, बॉडी कवर करती है ऑफ स्टंप को। टेम्परामेंट में कोई कमी नहीं है शहजाद की। आसान नहीं होता इनका एज लगवाना, लेकिन पिछली 2-3 गेंदें अच्छी की इस ओवर में मीर हमजा ने। गुलाम मुदस्सिर से मैं चाहूँगी स्पेशली ज़रियाब के खिलाफ कि वो उनको फोर्स करें कि आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टंप पर ड्राइव खेलने जाए, क्योंकि विद इन स्टंप्स, विद इन लेग्स पे अच्छी उनकी स्ट्रेंथ है।
सरफराज अहमद ने थोड़ा सा जो अपनी हिकमत अमली है उसमें रद्दोबदल किया और स्लिप के फील्डर को निकाल के अब कवर पोजीशन पर उन्हें ला खड़ा किया। स्लिप में 2 ही फील्डर बाकी रह गए क्योंकि अली ज़रियाब रन्स बना रहे थे। आपने इन 13 में से ज़्यादातर रन्स उन्होंने कवर पोजीशन पर ही खेलकर बनाए थे।
लेकिन तार भाई गुलाम मुदस्सिर के खिलाफ हमने ऐसा देखा नहीं कि बहुत ज़्यादा शॉट्स उन्होंने खेली हो। इनका ज़्यादा टारगेट यही रहा है कि ज़रिया आपको विद इन स्टंप्स कराएं। तो बेहतर ये होता कि लाइन चेंज करते, स्लिप को वहीं रहने देते। बाकी उस तरह ड्राइव नहीं खेली। मीर हमजा पे फिर भी खेली हैं। अभी तक आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टंप को खास चेज किया नहीं अली ज़रियाब ने, या कोई ऐसी शॉट नहीं देखने को मिली जो कवर में से गई हो 4 रन्स के लिए। तो थोड़ा सा डिफेंसिव मोड में कह सकती हूँ। स्लिप को रहने देते, चौथी स्टंप पे 5वीं स्टंप पे अटैक करते, फोर्स करें, उन्हें गैप दिखाएं सामने कवर की तरफ के वो चेस करने जाएं गेंद को और वहां से चौका हासिल करने जाएं। ज़रियाब की अगर आप टेक्निक देखें बहुत ज़्यादा फ्रंट फुट पे कमिट नहीं करते, खड़े खड़े खेलते हैं, थोड़ा सा कोलैप्स होता है इनका।
तो गुलाम सरवर जो आज अपने करियर का आगाज कर रहे हैं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में, ये इनका पहला मैच है। डेरा मुराद जमाली से आए हैं, इसलिए बड़ा दिन है इनके करियर में। नए अंपायर हैं इनके साथ इस वक्त मौजूद हैं राशिद रियाज, वो आजमूदा कार हैं।
वे स्विंग कर सकते हैं लेफ्ट हैंडर के अगेंस्ट, तो ये वाला जो पाथ है वो अपनाना चाहिए।
राशिद रियाज का ये 36वां फर्स्ट क्लास मैच है अंपायर की हैसियत से। इससे पहले खिलाड़ी की हैसियत से भी फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट इनने खेली। नेशनल बैंक के लिए अच्छी खासी क्रिकेट खेली राशिद रियाज ने।
ऑब्वियसली बूस्ट करेगी लाहौर वाइट्स की टीम को। इनके लिए भी बहुत अहम सीजन रहेगा ये, कमबैक की ताक में है ये।
या फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में ज़्यादा हमने देखा नहीं है पिछले कुछ बरस से। उमर अकमल को ये वाइट बॉल क्रिकेट खेलते आए हैं HBL PSL में, कोयटा ग्लैडिएटर्स के लिए, और उससे कबल इन्होंने नॉर्दर्न के लिए पिछले बरस पाकिस्तान कप में शिरकत की थी। लेकिन जाहिर है कि ये ज़्यादा मुश्किल फॉर्मेट है। कितने आप फिट हैं, आपको फील्ड में रहना पड़ सकता है 1 से ज़्यादा दिन के लिए। एजाज जूनियर जो इनके हेड कोच हैं, जाहिर है और सारी सूरत हाल का जायजा ले रहे होंगे, कितने मैच फिट हैं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट के लिए उमर।
स्पेशली टेम्परामेंट भी, क्योंकि अक्सर हमने इन्हें जारहाना बैटिंग करते देखा है, लेकिन यहाँ डिफरेंट टेम्परामेंट रिक्वायर्ड होता है।
इन दिसंबर 2021 के बाद से कोई फर्स्ट क्लास मैच नहीं खेला उमर अकमल ने। बहुत ही अच्छा ये टैलेंट रहे हैं उमर अकमल। काफी अरसे से अब इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट से बाहर हैं। यहीं पर अहमद शहजाद और उमर अकमल आखिरी बार इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट खेले थे श्रीलंका के खिलाफ उस T20 सीरीज में। दोनों बड़ा स्कोर नहीं कर सके और फिर अपना बड़े अली ज़रियाब जो हैं ये पिछले मैच में बाउंसर पे आउट हुए हैं, तो कोई मुजायका नहीं, एक आध अगर आप शॉर्ट गेंद जो है वो इन्हें सरप्राइज करने के लिए सोना नहीं होती। लेकिन लाहौर के लिए ये अच्छा आगाज कहा जाएगा। उन्होंने 7 ओवर्स में कोई विकेट नहीं गंवाई। उनकी बैटिंग लाइनअप जाहिर है उनकी ताकत है, हर बार 400 से ज्यादा रन्स बनाते हुए आए हैं।
Has been just that a little bit shaky. We have seen bowlers trying to extract more swing in the air, trying to bowl full, but nothing much has happened.
Do you think it's just about time when that lacquer will be coming off and the bowlers may have a little bit of say? Because on the face of it, the pitch looks pretty green and the grass is fresh. It's not dead and rolled in. But like I said, didn't much happen. What's the next half an hour in store? What is it going to be like?
Well, pretty much similar, I reckon, because sun is coming down hard. It's an absolutely beautiful day for cricket, and there is not a cloud in the sky today. The pitch is not going to hold this moisture for long enough, and I think this first hour is very crucial. By the way, on a pitch like this, I prefer to bat first, because whatever happens gives you a lot of time to adjust. And later on, when it dries up, the ball just starts to just go, carry towards the keeper a bit better. So it's better to play the first hour difficult than the whole last day.
Edge once again not carrying and going through that gap. Just the 2 slips. Ali Zaryab was poking tentatively, but that edge pretty much went all along the ground.
Yes, there we see, yes, tentatively coming forward. He could have played this ball on the back foot as well. Pitch is giving a lot of time to the batters, and just went too far ahead of himself, hanging the bat, and was lucky it didn't go to the slips.
When you say play on the back foot, there was enough bounce on it as well.
Yeah.
If he had really picked up the length early enough, he wouldn't have to go out in front with less control.
And once you're there, and if you're watching the ball as good as Ali Zaryab has looked since morning, then you can do a lot with the ball. Place it in different gaps. So hanging your bat away from your body isn't ideal. So the third slip has moved in.
Sarfraz ringing the changes. Once again poking at it. Good areas. Just a hint of movement away off the seam. But last few deliveries, Ali Zaryab, who's made a very good start. First, the last delivery last over against Hamza, and now these 2 deliveries, it's looked a bit tentative.
Yes, he's played most of Mir Hamza so far, who has bowled really full to him. But here we see Mudassar bowling short of length, and this is where this exaggerated front foot is not helping Ali Zaryab and hanging the bat away from his body. So he just needs to let the ball come closer, and then he'll have more control in the shots.
This wicket will get quicker. Like Salman said, another edge. Runs away through the gap again, this time between the third slip and the gully. the chase will be in vain.
Mudassar would be feeling luck not on his side so far. And Ali Zarab, especially on this delivery, just held back a bit, did not go too far, and again managed to get it through to the third man boundary. 8 gone, 25 for none.
This time he wasn't pushing forward, at least he transferred the weight little bit, and then the hands also didn't go out.
Yeah, the stride was shorter this time. Here we have the points table on the screen. Lahore Whites there, and 12 batting points so far. So 7 bowling points for them, bonus points 15, 34. And Karachi Whites, the #1 team so far on the points table, are with a total of 48. And here they are bowling, trying to get wickets early on.
Yeah, that win has really propelled them to the top of the table. Lahore Blues is another team who's got a victory, #2 on that table. Hamza will look to push the ball forward to get that swing in the air. Nothing much has happened in the air for him.
Yes, especially bowling to Ahmed Shahzad, I think it might be a good idea for him to go around the wickets. That angle would help him to bring it in a bit more. Bowling over the wicket, he hasn't found much swing in the air, nothing off the pitch at all. And the pitch isn't that fast at the moment.
That pace is something you need to keep an eye on as the sun beats down on it. Compact Ahmed Shahzad. Hamza's strength is swing more. His natural length is that fuller length, whereas Ghulam Mudassar is that back of a length. That's why he was getting a little bit more from the pitch. Probably, do you reckon, is it a bang-in pitch or just a release or kiss the surface pitch?
Well, so far we've seen Mudassar bang it in and get something going on, whereas Hamza hasn't been able to extract anything. So, yes, both different types of bowlers. Hamza, somebody who pushes the ball a lot forward, allows it to swing in the air. There we see plenty of time on this delivery. Ahmed Shahzad looks wonderful when he plays off the back foot. He'll get an easy 2.
Yeah, that back of length allowed Ahmed Shahzad stay back. Nice solid push. Not looking to hit the ball hard. Ahmed Shahzad, when asked to drive on the front foot, he's been going after the bowling. But on that back foot, he's really allowing the ball to come close to him. Just accumulating at this stage, not looking to be extravagant off the back foot. But on front foot, he's already shown the indication that he's prepared to go after the deliveries. First time a short delivery. Ahmed Shahzad has absolutely smashed it. Picked up the length very, very early. Had all the time in the world.
Yes, pitching it short, Mir Hamza at his pace is asking for trouble. And there were no half measures from Ahmed Shahzad, who took full advantage. And before anyone realized, the ball had crossed the boundary. There we see a lot of time, ages for Ahmed Shahzad to pull this one towards the boundary.
Just the transfer of weight and that pivot on that back leg really gave him perfect balance. Saw the ball all the way onto his bat. Good technique for any youngsters watching.
Yes, at this pace, you can't relate to this length. So he needs to change the angle maybe or the length, but not short one certainly. This is much better.
Although tactically, do you reckon even if the bouncer itself is not threatening, it's just letting the batter know, just keeping guessing and not allowing him to come on that front foot?
It's not a bad option, but we have to see who is bowling it. With how much pace is he doing that? Because if Mir Hamza does this, it's eat and drink for the batter. But if somebody else who's much quicker doing it, then yes, the batter has to think twice.
No timing whatsoever on that from Ahmed Shahzad, but he negotiated this over pretty nicely. 9 done, 31 for none. Umar Akmal in the house today. He didn't make the final 11, but he's part of the squad of Lahore Whites.
Yes, he's there in the dugout today, and a few days back when we spoke, and I was curious to know when he's going to get into action, and he had some pain in the back. I hope he gets well soon.
Yeah, time has changed. That green zinc and green glasses, he's all turned blue.
No zinc so far.
Little bit of movement in the air for Mudassir. Yeah, Umar Akmal, whenever he's around, he's definitely center of attention. But at the moment, the attention in the middle is on an intense battle for these two openers, having put into bat by Karachi Whites. Lahore has done really well, but what would be their ideas to progress the game as well, not just bat along and ball along?
So far, Faisal, it seems as if Karachi Whites have missed the trick, and what they thought the pitch has not been that sort of a track. There we see, it's slow, and there's not much on offer for the bowlers. Just the few that Mudassir banged in did a bit of the pitch, and that also was helped by the batter just coming too far forward. But since he has started playing close to his body, we see that he's pretty much at ease, Ali Zaryab.
See, again, that brings us to the point where the bowler did induce the batter to make a mistake, but not enough pace and bounce in the pitch to have the edges carry to slips. And then the batter have now time and realization what needs to be done to correct his mistakes. And Ali has done it. He's staying back on that back foot for as long as possible and not pushing his hand out.
Yes, and batters who are not very tall, they tend to pick up the length quicker. And on this pitch, if the length is a bit short, there's a stroke on. So once he gets set, I think that will be batting paradise.
And like you elaborated as well, I think it's important if they hang in till lunch and then 40 minutes of break, the sun will beat down, the pitch will have more pace and carry. And if two set batters are there, they can enjoy the afternoon session with good stroke play on offer.
Yes, that would be a great dessert after lunch, to have the ball coming on the bat nicely, and you can stroke it through square pitches on both sides of the pitch that they are playing on, so that will allow the ball to go faster towards the boundary, especially off the back foot.
For either batsman from either end as well, because like Ali is batting, if the right-hander was batting now for Mudassir, he will have all the square to his right. Anything he punches off the back foot will gather pace from that square. That's good call. Excellent call. Ali Zaryab, as soon as he hit the ball, he called his partner. Great understanding.
Ghulam Mudassir is the quicker of the two, and we haven't seen him go for a bouncer as yet. I think for him, if he takes a fielder back, it might be just something to instill in the mind of the batter. Otherwise, so far, it's been pretty easy.
And Salman, you being a skipper for most of your life, you know when you see this green pitch, how long will you give it to go to your plan B? Because I know plan 1 will obviously be to get that swing or seam early on. But 10 overs, is it long enough to start thinking about plan B or C? We'll come back and ask you after this. 32 for none.
I didn't.
Well, it was a good question, Faisal, and definitely there's enough evidence that there's not much pace in the pitch, and the moisture is there, but it's very slow. So I might as well go to my experienced spinner, Noman Ali, in this particular case. Sarfraz has him up his sleeve, and he is an experienced first-class campaigner, and also recently has played a lot of Test cricket for Pakistan. So if there is some moisture, and if he can get a few to grip in the surface, and maybe some to slide on to the right-hander, he may get me a wicket.
With slightly newer ball, he has the option to just push it through and target that inside edge. But we've seen in Test cricket at times as well, sometimes on non-responsive pitches, it's not a bad idea to get your spinner on before lunch, at least to see if anything was happening. But at the moment, we're seeing the under-21 Aftab Ibrahim. He's been given the ball from the pavilion end. 2 slips in a gully. So yeah, Sarfraz for now relying on all pace attack.
Yes, I wonder what the conversation would be between Sarfraz and Khurram Manzoor. Both very experienced, both top performers at this level and at the top level, international level, I mean. So, seeing the pitch now, I think it hasn't lived up to the expectations. Nothing much there for the medium pacers.
Good areas, no evidence of swing just yet for the youngster. This year, we have the introduction of this new rule where every playing 11 must include an under-21 in first-class cricket. And Fahad Munir is into his 4th game via that rule for Lahore Whites. And Aftab is now representing Karachi Whites.
Yes, this rule opens up a huge opportunity for the youngsters and for them to display their talents, and it's something that they will cherish, hopefully. But at that very same time, there are few who have done really well in the inter-districts and are very young as well, who may be 21, 22, 23, but just because they're not under 21, despite performances, they might not get a place to play in this. So, 2 different ways of thinking about this. At one, lies the opportunity, and for others, a bit difficult.
Yeah, it depends whichever way you look at it. It's good for the youngsters because this is the format where you can develop your skills long term. But then, by no means a 22-year-old or a 23-year-old is not in that similar phase of their career where they can experience and benefit from playing longer format as much as an under-21 would do. Because this day and age, with the nutrition and fitness regimes, the careers of players have, their durations have increased, and people can play well into their 30s.
Yes, most definitely. The athletes today are very fit, and the fitness standards are going higher by the day. Well bowled, good areas, but very solidly defended by Ahmed Shahzad on this occasion. So the action looks good. It's pretty simple. He's been on target so far. It's just that the pitch hasn't offered him anything.
Looks like Aftab will be very handy if he were to play with the Duke's ball in English conditions, because his action is very solid and nippy. What he lacks on the first instance is that pace or penetration on these kind of surfaces. But all he's doing is what he can do, putting the ball in the right areas for now and showing a little bit of an aggression. 33 for none.
There we have Noman Ali coming in. just as we spoke a few minutes back, and it's a good decision, I think. We might see something happening for him. He's very experienced, and one thing is for sure, the lines we will see from him and the length will be very accurate, and the batters will not have the same kind of freedom as they've had on other spinners so far in the Quaid-e-Azam trophy.
Very, very experienced campaigner, Noman Ali. And you can bet your house on him being absolutely accurate. That record, that economy rate over 111 matches is pretty good. 375 wickets, 26 fifers as well. Slip and a short leg. Well, as we build him up, he bowls a short and wide delivery.
Yeah, but that goes straight to the fielder, so we are pretty safe on this delivery. Talking of the ball, you just mentioned Duke ball. If the young Aftab was to bowl with the Duke ball, it'll be much more effective. Well, he doesn't need an English pitch. Even here, if he had the Duke ball, it would behave tremendously different from what we are seeing with the Kookaburra. But the reason why PCB have gone with the Kookaburra makes a lot of sense. And the reason is that the cricket that we play, starting from the under-19 international levels, going to the Pakistan Test cricket, one-day cricket, T20 cricket, only in England we get Dukes in Test matches, and maybe in the West Indies. We don't go to India for quite long. They have used SG cricket balls for Test cricket. So 99% we are using Kookaburra. So it makes sense to give our young boys the feel of international cricket by playing with Kookaburra balls.
Ahmed Shahzad giving the charge, glorious off drive. Splendid use of the feet, and the timing was sublime from Ahmed Shahzad.
Well, that is a shot of authority and class. Ahmed Shahzad dancing down the track and timing it wonderfully.
Into out a little bit, gave himself a little bit of room to free those arms, but the skip down the wicket got him close enough to the ball, and the hands went through beautifully. Noman didn't enjoy that, but it was truly an enjoyable stroke from Ahmed Shahzad. Instantly, once again, good use of the wrist, playing it late to earn himself that single.
Yes, they're looking to be positive against Noman and maybe trying not to let him settle down early. Which makes sense, because if the ball grips and does a few things, then Noman may be very lethal. So they're trying to use their feet, not allowing him much of the track.
But knowing Noman being so experienced, I don't think he may be can be working on a plan where he's making Ahmed Shahzad think positive about hitting through offside and then slide in that armour with a similar length without seemingly any change in action. But strike rotation would mean that he would have to wait for that, because it's left-handed Ali Zaryab on strike. 39 for none. Talking about the balls, Kookaburra. Seam is not as pronounced as some local balls that we use here, or we've used for years in Pakistan, Greys or the Dukes that are used in UK. 1999-2000 were the first time when these balls were used in Pakistan's domestic cricket. Since then, for most part, we've stuck with those balls. For a very brief moment, we used the local balls in domestic cricket.
Yes, true that, but those local balls were also made to replicate Kookaburra. So they had the same kind of seam and had the bowlers had the same feel while gripping it. Because spinners, if they're not used to this kind of seam, then they struggle in the test matches. So I think it's a very good thing that the youngsters are being provided this opportunity at domestic level to use this ball.
Just the angle tempting Ali Zaryab. You make sense when we say that 90% of international cricket is played with Kookaburra, so that is one aspect of it, that let's carry on with this. Then the second thing comes, what kind of conditions or wickets you want to give your bowlers. Especially we see at the top level in Pakistan, really top quality spinners. We haven't had them in the supply line even. And that's the balance that the administrators would need to find.
So he flicks one, Ahmed Zaryab, and takes an easy single towards fine leg. Yes, pitches are something that can be done by the curators. They can leave them dry, allow them to spin, maybe add a bit of reverse swing because of their dry nature. And then once you move towards winter, leave some grass so there's some movement. Here we see the square.
This is the practice pitch, Salman, that's coming out of your picture now.
Yep.
And it behaves completely differently to the rest of the pitches on square. In the air, not timed perfectly, but away from the fielders. Ahmed Shahzad is looking in a positive mood, although he didn't time it well enough, but will still collect a couple of runs.
Yeah, it was on to him before he thought, quicker. And this is where we were talking about Mir Hamza opting to bowl short, but wasn't as quick. This ball was on him and did not allow him to open his arms and execute the stroke perfectly. So as a result, he was lucky. He didn't get caught and the ball just flew over the circle and was able to take 2 runs.
Also the height of that bouncer, it was climbing on him when it got to him. Just a fraction of a second late on that Ahmed Shahzad. Square cut, save your legs. You have timed that beautifully. Ahmed Shahzad in full flight this morning.
Yes, short and wide and asking for trouble. And Ahmed Shahzad is not in the kind of mood where he'll spare stuff like this. An excellent stroke and didn't have to run at all. There we see a lot of width, short. Poor ball that, got what it deserved.
Yeah, he didn't try to keep it along the ground. Just a little slice. But the timing was so good. And there's evidence on this pitch with more sun, we'll have more pace and we'll see more back foot strokes, unlike the previous rounds. Definitely batters will enjoy that. This time 2 straight from the youngster. Ahmed Shahzad milking him. 8 of the over. 48 for none. First hour done and dusted. 13 overs bowled, decent over rate. And this hour definitely belonged to Lahore Whites. 48 for none.
The first are clearly belonging to Lahore Whites. How well these two have played, Ahmed Shahzad and Ali Zaryab. The partnership 48 for none at the moment. Sarfaraz Ahmed is in a bit of a bother to winning the toss and bowling first. You expect your bowlers to be on target, but that hasn't happened. Credit has to be given to Ahmed Shahzad and Ali Zaryab, the way they have handled the first hour. I really like the intent from Ahmed Shahzad. He's looking so good, looking to score runs. Marina Iqbal, do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely I do. He was in a bit of a shell in the previous game, but now from ball one he's looked very compact, looking for runs. Good on footwork.
Down the track again. And this is what runs do to you, to your confidence, because he has already scored 100. And now you can tell by the way he's moving, the feet movement, everything sinking in with Ahmed Shahzad. Now he's getting comfortable with the time. Talking about time and being comfortable, Sarfaraz Ahmed, I think he will be disappointed with his first start. Short and wide, cut beautifully through point. Mir Hamza will do the chase. Couple of runs taken by Ali Zaryab.
He's been good too. He's been patient enough to let go of the good deliveries and just capitalizing on the loose ones. This occasion slightly on a shorter side, trying to capitalize on it. Normally, Karachi is expecting a lot from him.
Nicely punched. Yeah, as a captain, when you win the toss and ball first, you expect your bowlers to be on target, but that hasn't happened. And we were talking about it off air, the first half hour, the way Mir Hamza and Ghulam Mudassir were bowling outside the off stump. They were not there outside the off stump. In fact, they were bowling wicket to wicket, which was easily negotiated by both the batters, especially Ali Zaryab. I think the defense Ali Zaryab has is just amazing.
There was something for the bowlers in that early hour, but I think again Karachi White bowlers missing the corridor that was required and the consistency to keep enticing the batters to make false shot. They lacked there, and they are paying heavy price now.
The longer it gets, the better it gets for the batters. It's 51 for none. Marina, we'll continue talking about the pitch and the conditions at the moment. As the visiting captain, you come here for the first time, you look at the pitch, green grass on it. So I cannot blame you, really cannot blame Sarfaraz Ahmed by the first look that you get from the pitch. But then your bowlers have to be spot on.
That's exactly what Sarfaraz was expecting. With Ghulam Mudassir, he's been in such a superb form. Mir Hamza, an experienced one. He's got a couple of other bowlers. And with that sort of top, I think it wasn't a bad call to bowl first, but then they had to execute it properly.
Beautifully driven, but no timing.
And that's where Karachi White bowlers lagged. They had the opportunity to grab a couple of early wickets, but again the line and the length wasn't accurate enough to just keep pushing the batters on back foot and make them commit mistakes. It was pretty easy bowling, to be very honest, for Lahore Whites, because we know how Zaryab plays, we know how classic Ahmed Shahzad is.
It's in the air, but there's no one there. This will go all the way, one bounce and over the ropes for four. So as you said, it's getting way too easy for Ahmed Shahzad, especially that length.
Aftab Ibrahim, I think he's missing the ploy here. Bowling such delivery to Ahmed Shahzad is like committing a suicide. He's not that quick, not even express pace. Ahmed Shahzad had ample time to put it away, and he did. Again, you need to pick your area, especially you need to analyze the batter you're bowling to.
And he knows it. You can tell Ahmed Shahzad knows that if he stays longer, there are lots of runs available. Have a look at the length Marina was talking about. This is easy pickings. He's not going to miss out on those. He's too good for this. And now we see a fielder now being placed for that shot. Square leg, deep square leg, but the time is gone. He's too smart. Risty. Going back to the last match, Marina, where I think Zain Abbas was brave enough to bat first after winning the toss. I think that did paid off to him. Had it not rained, it might have gone his way. So probably that's where they've missed the trick. But then again, coming to Gaddafi Stadium, watching a pitch full of grass, you cannot blame him anyways.
I think the pitch played bluff on us. We were expecting a lot more from this pitch. More movements and more bounce. And even from the bowlers as well. Again, that's good feeling. Asad Shafiq, experienced campaigner. And a really good mover in the field. It's hard to pass the ball besides him. I'm not sure about the length they're opting. Again, it's not express speed, but have a look at that. Very agile. Age is just a number.
Fantastic performer. He's been over the years for Pakistan. Asad Shafiq. Again, in action. Age, did you say that?
We've seen him flying around every now and then. He's one committed cricketer. Again, have a look. Not sure about this length, as I was speaking earlier, but what an effort. Single-handed, full-blooded dive. He's not going to give up easily.
It's all about commitment and the sincerity of the purpose that you're playing game for. The love of the game. The reputation you have for yourself. Again, shorter one pulled, but there is protection this time.
For me, it's not a wicket-taking delivery. It's more of a defensive field with such pace that Aftab has against someone like Ahmed Shehzad. I'm not sure what the plan is. 15 overs gone, Lahore Whites 58 without loss.
Yeah, we've been talking about the pitches around, because this is our fourth game here and we've seen all the draws. We are yet to see a result here at Gaddafi Stadium this season. We're going to talk about other venues, what's happening there. I just love how Aptabad Stadium pitch plays. Plenty of runs, plenty of wickets. It's full of runs, Aptabad Stadium, because of the pitch, the bounce the pitch has, Marina. Look at the runs, 2,456 runs, 98 wickets also, and runs per wicket, 25 runs per wicket, and runs per over also, 3.61. So it has something for everyone. Aptabad Cricket Stadium. Beautifully driven. That is superb by Ahmed Shehzad. Through the line, through the gate for 4.
Oh, that's an exquisite drive. And when Ahmed Shehzad is playing like this, you can guarantee a big score. Just leaning his weight into the shot. Have a look at that. Full follow through. Good transfer of the weight. Picked up the gap nicely. That's beautiful batting.
This is looking really good. He's all set for a big one. The intent is quite clear. You got to make use of it. You've got these conditions on your favor, on your side. Why not to make a big one? Down the track again. And good running also. Very good running. That is experience. Realizing the fielder at mid-on is coming from the circle. Played it with soft hands. Took it easily.
Good cricket from him. That takes a lot of pressure away from you after the boundary, looking for the singles. You're always thinking. It's dancing down the track. Easily done by him.
easily taken single. Now coming back to the same point, Marina, I just want you to put light on it. Ahmedabad Stadium, you ever played there? It's full of runs. How's the pitch like there?
I've played a lot of cricket there, and that surface is actually the real test for both batters and the bowlers. It's got everything in it. It's got bounce, runs, wickets, and that is quite evident with the stat. But again, if you've got a good temperament, you've got a good technique, you will score runs there. And equally, if you're a good bowler, you hit the right one of the best venues to have a longer format game there, because it won't let you.
Gaddafi Stadium, not that bad for batters. Plenty of runs here at Gaddafi Stadium, but not good, so good for the bowlers. It's hard to get the wickets. You really got to hustle. You really got to be patient to get a fifer here, or even get a wicket here. Also. 16 gone, 64 for none. Runs have been scored this year. This is the 4th round game. 45 wickets. Yeah, round 1,000 runs were scored. 307. 28 wickets also fell. But then that rain hit games, round 2 and 3. Only 639 runs were scored. 4 wickets also. So that runs per wicket have been just on the higher side. But then there was a lot of rain in the round 2 and round 3 game. So we can not really say that. We cannot really compare with other stadiums.
Gaddafi Stadium has been an annoyance for the bowlers. Early on, I was having a chat with Ghulam Mudassir, and I just gave him a heads up that you'll have to put the hard yards here. We've been having a lot of supporting pitches. We're getting those fifers, but on this surface, you need to have a different plan. And he was well aware of it.
He'll have to learn. Ghulam Mudassir, this is not an Ahmedabad pitch. The length will be different on Gaddafi Stadium than it was at Ahmedabad Stadium, because the pitch there is hard, rock solid. There is something for the fast bowlers, as we said, 98 wickets already. And Marina, interestingly, the results that have come in this year's Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, 3 out of 4, they've come from Ahmedabad Stadium. 3 games, 3 results. We wish that at Gaddafi Stadium. We haven't seen a result for ages. I miss results. Off the back foot, nicely punched. There is a fielder, but he won't reach out on that. Another boundary for Ali Zaryab.
I don't agree with his plan. Aftab Ibrahim, he doesn't have that express pace. He's hitting it shorter, and it's very easy pickings for Ali Zaryab and Ahmed Shehzad. Just picking it quite early. It's not threatening at all, and look at that. He had ample time to just guide it away from Ahmed Asad Shafiq, I beg your pardon, and it raced away. Again, these are not the deliveries that can bring you wickets. You need wickets. They're well settled now, both the batters.
That is superb batting. Take a boundary, take a single the very next delivery. They'll tell you to rotate the strike. Just don't let that pressure build on you. 69 for none at the moment.
We're talking about different venues, but I think that it also tests the mindset of the captain, the coach, and the players as well, playing on different venues, because that is one thing you cannot control. So how you come up with a plan, how you pick up your 11 according to the surfaces and then execute the plans, that is actual test. And that tells you the ability, the thinking ability, what you can do, what you can't do, how you analyze the opposition in terms of how they like to bat, where you can trap them. These all things, I think, it's kind of a push to the players and the management to operate on different venues.
Absolutely. We'll talk about it. It definitely is a test for the captain also. And that's why I said in the last game, I think Zain Abbas from Multan was spot on with his captaincy, with his decision making, with his strategies. Because he was brave enough to win the toss and bat first and put 2 spinners in, thinking about the last day. Had it not rained, we might have seen that result, because Multan as a bowling unit is just fantastic. The best one that we have seen so far in this Quaid-e-Azam Trophy is at Gaddafi Stadium. But this is different. Karachi will have to grind, will have to hustle. because it's way too easy and the length is just not there. As Marina was mentioning, this length is more of a defensive length. You're not going to get wickets through this length.
Even with the way he rotated his bowlers, that was exceptional. We could see that it had a clear plan for each batter. He gave a accumulated plan to his bowlers. And I think with, you can say, Sirajuddin, Tahir, they bowled superbly and they bowled according to a plan. It wasn't like they don't have any idea what they're going to do.
Nicely done. Just one more run added to the total as we come to the end of 17 overs. 70 for none. Karachi Whites at the top of the table. Happy place to be. It just doesn't happen without the help of the fielders. They've been brilliant in the field. Have a look at this for an effort. This was a great effort too, just didn't stuck. Just needed a little bit more luck, Ghulam Mudassir, and that diving around. They've been magnificent. And when you're a senior member like Asad Shafiq, if he's diving around, you mean business. Everyone is spot on then. Fantastic. You're at the top of the table for a reason. But this is a different test, Marina. This is Gaddafi Stadium pitch.
Yeah, you could see with the effort Ghulam Mudassir did put in that catch, you knew how desperate he was for wickets. And again, it's not easy for a bowler who's been dominating the season with 14 wickets so far and not finding one. It's hard.
Alien conditions for somebody who's already taken 2 fifers in 3 games. Ghulam Mudassir. You could tell the desperation he had in that attempt you were talking about. He really wanted that wicket. He just wanted to get going. He just wanted to prove everyone wrong that no, we can get wickets at Gaddafi Stadium if you bowl at the right channel, right area. So yes, I can feel the pain.
You have to give credit to these two batters as well. Ahmed Shehzad, prolific batter. Ali Zaryab, he's catching up, but when you talk about temperament and technique, he's spot on.
Yeah, this is what is doing good. Using the feet against Numan. One of his very close friends, Umar Akmal, also in the camp. Like to see both of them play for Lahore. It's been a while we haven't seen both of them play together. Ahmed and Umar. Fantastic talent, both of them.
One thing you wouldn't like to do against Numan Ali is to just stay in your crease, and that's exactly what Ahmed isn't doing. Because then you might commit a mistake and he'll trap you.
Fantastic. There is no stopping Ahmed Shehzad today. He's doing it on the back foot, he's doing it on the front foot. Another boundary to him.
Beautifully cut. It wasn't that short, just the room and the width provided by Numan actually allowed Ahmed Shehzad to rock back. It was too close to cut, but whatsoever he managed to just squeeze it for a boundary, and that's the class of Ahmed Shehzad. If you're off strike slightly as a bowler, you will get punished here.
I like how they're attacking Numan Ali because he's their most experienced and most skillful bowler. And once you go after their most experienced bowler, it tells you a story. You put the whole of the team on the back foot, and this is actually what has happened. We're just 1 hour and 1.5 hours into the game, and we can already see the body language going down. That is not good. It's a long game, 4-day game. Got to be on your toes. You can tell by the field setting, just one slip and one gully. That shows that Sarfraz Ahmed is on the defense.
And courtesy to Lahore White opening pair, they've pushed Karachi White on the back foot. And they are well aware of the situation because Again, early on, I was having a chat with Numan and he said that it's a belter for batters. And I said, yes, if you're out of form, that's one venue you would like to play as a batter. And he laughed at it. They all are aware they have to do the hard work, be consistent. Perseverance is very important on such surfaces as a bowler.
The batters are extremely lucky to be playing most of the games here at Gaddafi Stadium. Talking about Lahore Whites, Ali Zariab getting a big 100, Ahmed Shahzad getting 100, Abid Ali played fantastically well in the last game, got 100, Saad Naseem getting a 200. Batters will like it. They're not getting the results, but the batters are in form. It's just the bowlers, that's not clicking. They've made one change in bowling lineup. In fact, two changes. Ali Manzoor coming in, Bilal Iqbal, the medium pacer, also coming in. So that might change the luck. Maybe something different. Ali Manzoor is in good touch. He's taken lots of wickets in inter-district cricket. Bilal Iqbal also medium pacer. He bowls that nagging line and length. Bowls wicket to wicket. So there might be a change in luck.
That's a good thing that they're thinking, actually. Trying different options that can aid their team and their playing 11. They know that surface might not be supportive or promising for the bowlers, but they have to do something for it. They cannot just wait.
Aftab, with his gentle medium pace, got to increase here at Gaddafi Stadium. You've got to be like somebody like Tahir Hussain or Sirajuddin were for Multan. The way they bowled, I think they were brilliant with their pace. They did get some reverse also. So just one tip for fast bowlers, you need to be quick here at Gaddafi Stadium. You need to bang in, put some extra effort in it. Otherwise you'll struggle with this pace. And that is why I was surprised that Naveed was left out and a medium pacer was included. I'm not sure what the reason might have been, if he's 100% fit, but that was a surprise to me.
Definitely pace can aid you on such surfaces, but again, if you're a medium pacer, the best thing you can do is just keep hitting the right areas. Focus on being consistent with line and length. But with that sort of pace, if you're vivid, you will get punished. The batters will not spare you. So either you have got a pace, again you need to be consistent with your pace as well, and we've seen that with Siraj. But if you're not that express, be consistent.
Nice use of the wrist. And an excellent effort too. That has been the feature for Karachi Whites. Danish Aziz this time certainly stopping a boundary.
Talk about commitment. They know it's a hard day for the bowlers. The fielders are backing them. Superb effort by Danish. 19 gone, 76 without loss, Lahore.
Yeah, talking about the commitment. Fielders, they got to support the bowlers. And we have not seen much support from fielders in the last couple of games that we have witnessed here. 6 catches were dropped when we came here first in the second round game. And then 5 in the third round game. You don't want to see that as a bowler, as a captain. That your bowler is working so hard and your fielders not supporting. That's not the case here with Karachi. They're supporting their bowlers for sure. Good cricket. Very good cricket.
Not allowing Numan to settle in. You keep bouncing back. And maybe going deep in the crease as well. Yeah, and we all know how Sarfaraz Ahmed as a captain operates. He wants 100% from ball 1 to the ball last of the day. But that's again good commitment. They know that it's not going to be easy to just create those chances. You need to be on your toes to try and convert those half chances into fuller ones, let alone leaving those fuller ones away.
Good cricket by Noman and Ali Zarab, leaving out anything outside the off stump. You're talking about Sarfaraz Ahmed and his captaincy. I think he's been brilliant. I just love his aggression all over the years. Even his captain Pakistan side, Sindh side for the last 3 years, and now come back to Karachi Whites. Brings in so much energy and flavor to the game. always expecting 100% from the team. In fact, more than 100% sometimes. So just love it how he moves around, he keeps everyone in check.
And it's a delight to hear him from the Stumps mic.
Karachi Whites will be missing Saud Shakil and Umair bin Yusuf. Both fantastic players, excellent batters. One for national duty, one for Asian Games. Oh, this is better. This is good bowling. He's setting him up. And I have a feeling Ali Zarab on a spinner outside the off stump. Ball coming into him. Might struggle.
Yeah, just trying to play it, to push it into the onside. Zarab, you have to get closer to the pitch of the delivery if you want to do that.
Numan Ali is smart. He knows that this might be his opening. Turning it into him from outside the off stump. 77 at the moment. 78 rather, of just 119 deliveries. It has come at a good time. The run rate is 3.93, which is excellent. Not a good news for Karachi. Smart cricket all around. Well negotiated by Ahmed Shahzad. 78 for none.
अभी एक दो बॉलें कर ले, जब सेट हो जाए फिर ले लेता हूँ.
अहमद शहजाद अपना वक्त लेते हुए और आज बहुत ही फ्लुएंट खेल रहे हैं और बहुत ही इम्प्रेसिव शॉट मेकिंग, अच्छी कदमों का इस्तेमाल अच्छा इनकी तरफ से, और आज बहुत ही प्रोएक्टिव इनिंग खेल रहे हैं अभी तक, वेरी एलिगेंट.
अली ज़रियाब से वो आगे निकल गए. एक मौके पर स्वीप किया, बहुत ज्यादा फाइन. 4 रन यहां पर पाएंगे अली ज़रियाब. स्पिनर को बिल्कुल सेटल होने का मौका नहीं देना चाहते. अहमद शहजाद ने इससे पहले चार्ज किया था नोमान पे, और अब दानिश पहली गेंद पर चौका लगाया अली ने.
आइडियल स्टार्ट नहीं था दानिश के लिए. डाउन द लेग साइड एक फ्री हिट जिसका पूरा फायदा उठाया अली ज़रियाब ने. श्योर के सरफराज इस वक्त ये सोच में तो होंगे कि काश पहले बैटिंग ही कर लेते.
यहाँ हम कह सकते हैं कि लाहौर के लिए ये टॉस हारना जो है वो अच्छा साबित हुआ है. फिर 1 रन मिलेगा. फील्डर हैं लॉन्ग ऑन पोजीशन पर. यहाँ इस वक्त सवाल तो एक जहन में होगा कप्तान के और ड्रेसिंग रूम के कि क्या वो दूसरी तरफ सोच सकते थे. सिर्फ घास की देखा देखी वो ये गलती कर बैठे.
देखिए इस कदाफी स्टेडियम की जो पिच की नेचर है बखूबी समझते हैं बहुत सारे एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर्स कराची की टीम में. जब हम बात करते हैं खुर्रम मंजूर की, सरफराज की, असद शफीक की, बहुत तवील अरसे से ये इस क्रिकेट को खेल रहे हैं और बहुत बड़े शानदार प्लेयर्स हैं, और इन्होंने कराची को लीड किया. इवन मीर हमजा ने एक सीज़न कैप्टनसी की हुई है. तो ऐसे में जिस पिच के ऊपर मॉइस्चर हो, लेकिन देखने की चीज़ ये है कि एक तो ये ज़्यादा देर रुकेगा नहीं इस वेदर में, और दिन बिल्कुल क्लियर है. उसके साथ साथ जो मूवमेंट अगर होगी तो स्लो होगी, जो कि आज हुई नहीं ऐसी वैसी. तो ऐसे में बजाय कि पहला घंटा आप अवॉइड करने जाएं, मेरा ख्याल है कि आपको लास्ट डे पे एडवांटेज लेना चाहिए कि आप लास्ट डे पे बॉलिंग कर रहे हो चौथी इनिंग्स के अंदर। सो आई गेस डिफरेंट थॉट प्रोसेस सरफराज का, लेकिन यहाँ पर बैटिंग की जा सकती थी, कोई खातिर खा मुश्किल हमने देखी नहीं बैटर्स के लिए।
21वां ओवर मुकम्मल हुआ, लाहौर वाइट्स 83 किसी विकेट के बगैर।
मादलम साहब बस।
पांच बॉलर्स को आजमाया कप्तान सरफराज ने, जिसमें 2 लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर शामिल हैं। इस बार रफ्तार को कम किया नौमान अली ने। और इस पिच पे आप सलमान, ये पहले दूसरे दिन ज़्यादा आप हवा में ही बीट करने की कोशिश करेंगे बैट्समैन को?
जी बिल्कुल, थोड़ी वेरिएशन, लेकिन ज़्यादातर आपको फ्लाइट और थोड़ा स्लो बॉल को अलाउ करना है कि बॉल स्पिन हो। देखिए जब भी नुमान थोड़ा स्लो बॉल करते हैं तो थोड़ा सा टर्न ज़रूर मिल रहा है उन्हें ऑफ द पिच, और जो पिच की जो मट्टी है उसका जो ब्लॉक साइज़ है वो काफ़ी छोटा है, और ऐसे में होता यह है कि ये आगे जाके इसमें स्पिन होने के चांसेस हैं। ये देखिए यहाँ पर टर्न मिला, थोड़ा सा फ्लाइट किया और उस टर्न मिला है नुमान को।
ये दोनों टीमों में लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर शामिल हैं। अली मंजूर से खेलने का फैसला किया लाहौर की टीम ने, जो कि इंटर डिस्ट्रिक्ट क्रिकेट में विकेटें लेकर आए हैं। इससे पहले इस खिताबी स्टेडियम की पिचेस पर मोहम्मद इरफान खेल रहे थे।
और आपने एंगल की बात की, तो यहाँ पर अराउंड द विकेट भी जा सकते हैं लेफ्ट हैंडर, एंगल का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। थोड़ा सा ब्लाइंड स्पॉट आता है इस तरफ से लेफ्ट हैंडर्स के लिए। इन अहमद शहजाद को दाद देना होगी।
ये अगर वेन्यू वाइज हम कारकर्दगी देखें बैट्समैनों की, तो जो 4 वेन्यूज़ जो हैं इस्तेमाल किए गए हैं इस कायद-ए-आज़म ट्रॉफी में 3 राउंड्स के बाद, उसमें लाहौर में फी विकेट जो है सबसे ज़्यादा रन्स बने, यानी 51 रन्स की औसत पार्टनरशिप हुई है। सबसे ज़्यादा रन्स यहाँ पर बने। हवा में खेला, लेकिन महफूज शॉट है, नीट फुटवर्क है अहमद शहजाद का, और आज ये अपने जोन में लगते हैं।
बिल्कुल, आज तो कंप्लीट अथॉरिटी शो कर रहे हैं और बहुत ही अच्छा कदमों का इस्तेमाल बॉल के ऊपर पहुंचे और अपनी मर्जी से उसे मिड ऑन के फील्डर के ऊपर से प्लेस किया, जो कि एक मुश्किल शॉट है। आप देखिए बहुत ही अच्छी मूवमेंट और हेड पोजीशन भी अच्छी और आर्म स्विंग। 22 ओवर का अख्ताम, 88 पे कोई नुकसान नहीं लाहौर वाइट्स।
यार एक मिनट नोमी इधर आ जाओ, हमाद आलम, हाँ इधर कहीं कवर में कहीं आ जाओ, या इससे चेंज कर लो, इससे नोमी इधर आ जाओ। ये थोड़ा
रन बनाने की औसत फी ओवर 3.54 रही है गद्दाफी स्टेडियम में। आज ये 4 है लाहौर की, और सबसे कम विकेटें यहाँ पर गिरी 45, और हर विकेट के एवज जो हैं वो बॉलिंग टीम को 51 रन देना पड़े।
जी बिल्कुल, सबसे ज़्यादा बैटर्स यहीं पे खुश रहे हैं और लंबे रन्स यहाँ पे बने हैं। सबसे ज़रूरी है ताकि कोई ऐसी चीज़ ना हो जाए जिससे उनके एक अननेसेसरी जो है उसमें खलल पैदा हो उनकी क्रिकेट में। बहुत अरसे के बाद इस तरह की फॉर्म में देखे जा रहे हैं, 100 कर चुके हैं, लग रहा है कि आज खेलते रहे तो बड़ा स्कोर फिर से बनाएंगे।
क्या बात है।
अभी और इंतज़ार करना पड़ेगा अली ज़रियाब को। निस सेंचुरी के लिए मिड विकेट के फील्डर डीप एम, उनके लिए मिड ऑन को भी पीछे सरका दिया सरफराज अहमद ने। वहाँ पर गुलाम मुदस्सिर हैं। दरअसल ये एक न्योता है कि आप इनके ऊपर से खेलें। मिड वे खड़े हुए थे फील्डर और ये रही निस सेंचुरी। एक और उम्दा इनिंग्स लेफ्ट हैंडर की, जिन्होंने यहीं पर अभी हाल ही में अपने करियर का बेहतरीन स्कोर बनाया था। और ये दिलकश इनिंग्स, इब्तिदा में अपना वक्त लिया और फिर स्ट्रोक्स खेलते चले गए।
बिल्कुल, बहुत ही खूबसूरत इनिंग और मैच्योरिटी बढ़ती हुई हर इनिंग के साथ अली ज़रियाब की। ये उनकी 6वीं निस्फ सेंचुरी।
मिस फील्डिंग हुई, रन लेना चाहते थे, खासी बेचैन थे अहमद शहजाद, लेकिन उन्हें मना किया अली ज़रियाब ने। ये थोड़ा सा वो गमो गुस्सा भी नजर आया।
थोड़ा बेसब्रे होने का तासुर दे रहे हैं अहमद शहजाद आज की इनिंग में, और बहुत ही अच्छा खेल रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छे शॉट्स खेले हैं, तो शायद जल्दी से बड़े स्कोर की तरफ जाना चाहते हैं। ये वो गेंद है जहां फ्लाइट आपको नजर आई और बॉल को थोड़ा सा एयर दिया, स्पिन मिला और बीट किया अहमद शहजाद को। यहाँ पर अहमद शहजाद अली ज़रियाब से गुफ्तगू में मसरूफ। 24 ओवर्स का अख्ताम, 94 रन बगैर किसी नुकसान के। नहीं कर पा रहे हैं और यहाँ पर सरफराज के लिए मुश्किलात हैं, क्योंकि आप बुरे बॉल की फील्डिंग खड़ी करना किसी भी कप्तान के लिए मुश्किलात पैदा करती है, और उसकी जो अटैकिंग ऑप्शंस है जाहिर है फिर उसको कम करती है। 2 सेट बैटर्स हैं, बहुत ज़रूरी के पिच में टर्न भी नज़र आया है। स्पिनर्स का अच्छी जगह पे बॉल करना, कंसिस्टेंटली करना, बार बार करना, पेशेंस के साथ बहुत ज़रूरी।
लेकिन सलमान, क्या ये बेहतर नहीं होगा जो लेग स्लिप के फील्डर हैं, ये अगर इनको हटाएं यहाँ पे एक आध ओवर के लिए, ताकि सेटल हो जाएं बॉलिंग क्रीज पर। दानिश अजीज, उनकी हौसला अफजाई हो कि ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर से आए।
देखिए, पहले तो ये नहीं थे, ये तो अभी जब 3 बाउंड्रीज लगी हैं इसी एरिया में, तब सरफराज ने ये फील्डर लिया। तो एक कैप्टन ने डेफिनेटली स्कोर बचाने के लिए भी फील्ड सेट करनी है, और पहले तो शॉर्ट लेग दी हुई थी उन्होंने, कॉन्फिडेंस दिया उन्होंने अपने बॉलर को, लेकिन अभी वो लाइन नहीं बना पा रहे। और सेशन जो है वो ऑलरेडी लाहौर वाइट्स के नाम रहा है अभी तक। यहाँ पर 100 रन्स की पार्टनरशिप कंप्लीट हो जाएगी। अहमद शहजाद ने प्लेस किया इस बॉल को थर्ड मैन की तरफ, और 25वें ओवर का खेल जारी है। 101 रन कोई बगैर किसी विकेट के नुकसान के, और लाहौर वाइट्स तो सोच रहे होंगे कि अच्छा हुआ कि वो टॉस हार गए।
ये दूसरा सेंचुरी स्टैंड है इस सीज़न में रावलपिंडी के खिलाफ। इन दोनों ने, अहमद और अली ने 234 रन की ओपनिंग पार्टनरशिप की थी। बैटिंग करना पसंद है इनको एक साथ। यह निस्बतन बेहतर गेंद थी दाएं हाथ के बैट्समैन के सामने, कुछ कंफर्टेबल है दानिश। 101 मजमूई स्कोर। नौजवान अली ज़रियाब ने आज फिर लाहौर वाइट्स के लिए हौसला अफजा कारकर्दगी पेश की है। शुरू में 1-2 बार किनारों से खेल रहे थे, तो उस वक्त हल्की हल्की मूवमेंट थी, लेकिन बाद में विकेट सहल होती गई और इनको लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर ने और ज़्यादा सहल कर दिया। स्वीप शॉट खेलने के मौके मिले, 3 चौके लगाए इन्होंने स्वीप करके लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर को। मिस सेंचुरी मुकम्मल करने के बाद अब ये यहाँ से बहुत ही लंबी सोच के हामिल होंगे।
अली ज़रियाब को हमने देखा है कि जब बड़ी इनिंग खेलते हैं तो लंबा लेके जाते हैं उसको। शॉर्ट एंड वाइड स्टार्ट, बहुत ही दूर बैटर की रेंज से अली ज़रियाब को बॉल बहुत अच्छा नज़र आ रहा है, गए उसके पीछे लेकिन बहुत ही दूर का बॉल। और थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर अपना फोकस जो है उसको रीगेन रीस्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा। देखिए पाँव नहीं गया बॉल की तरफ, बैकफुट जब आप कट मारते हैं तो बैकफुट थोड़ा सा बॉल की तरफ जाए तो आसानी रहती है, लेकिन शायद एक्सपेक्ट भी नहीं कर रहे थे कि इतना बाहर बॉल होगा।
ये पिच अब बैटिंग के लिए ये बेहतर होती जाएगी फास्ट बॉलर पे, लेकिन यहाँ पे फिर खड़े खड़े खेल गए और गली में कोई फील्डर नहीं था। 4 रन का इजाफा।
जी हाँ, ये हैट्रिक मुकम्मल हुई है आज। गली थ्रू द गली बाउंड्रीज की अली ज़रियाब की अगेंस्ट गुलाम मुदस्सर और 3rd टाइम लकी। देखिए अच्छी लेंथ, हल्का सा बॉल बाहर निकला, अगेन लिमिटेड फीट मूवमेंट जिसकी वजह से जो है लाइन को कवर नहीं कर पाए बॉल की। लकी रहे कि बॉल जो है वो फील्डर्स की बीच में से गुजर गई।
अली ज़रियाब जो हैं क्योंकि ज़्यादा सामने ड्राइव नहीं करते, सलमान आप नहीं समझते ये जो गली स्लिप का जो कॉर्डन है ये इनके लिए मजबूत ही रहना चाहिए हम वक्त। जहाँ एक बार फिर गेंद गली के सामने गिरी, ज़्यादा दूर नहीं थी असद शफीक से, बाल बाल बचे अली ज़रियाब। 25 ओवर्स के बाद 101 पर कोई खिलाड़ी आउट नहीं।
ये देखिए अली ज़रियाब और यहाँ पर मूवमेंट, शॉर्ट स्ट्राइड और उसके बाद सिर्फ हाथ और बैट जा रहा है, जबकि बैक फुट जो है वो अपनी जगह पर जो है बिल्कुल जमा हुआ है। और जितना ये मूव करेगा उतनी शॉर्ट पिच बॉलिंग को खेलने में आसानी होगी, स्पेशली ऑफ स्पिन से बाहर।
सलमान अगर इसी आपकी बात को आगे बढ़ाया जाए तो ऐसी विकेट होगी, यहाँ जाहिर है ऑफ द विकेट ज़्यादा मूवमेंट नहीं, लेकिन अगर ऑफ स्टंप के बाहर से गेंद लेट स्विंग हो जाएगी और आपका पिछला पाँव अगर नहीं चल रहा तो आप देखें आपके हाथ जो है वो ज़्यादा दूर जाते जाएंगे गेंद की तरफ और ज़्यादा मुश्किल होगी ऐसी पिचेस पर ही ना।
जी इसीलिए जो है हमने देखा कि 3 से 4 बॉल गली में गए और जब आपकी बैकफुट की मूवमेंट नहीं होगी बॉल की तरफ, जब आप बॉल की लाइन को कवर नहीं करेंगे तो फिर आपको एजेस प्ले में नज़र आएंगे। तो बेहतर यही है कि आप अगर बैकफुट पे पंच करना चाहते हैं या कट मारना चाहते हैं तो अपने बैकफुट को बॉल की तरफ जाने दें, वो आपको टाइम भी देगा और ज़्यादा अथॉरिटी और कंट्रोल देगा शॉट के ऊपर, जो कि अली ज़रियाब हालांकि सेट खेल रहे हैं, 60 रन पे पहुंच गए हैं, लेकिन उस बैकफुट की जो मूवमेंट है वो ऑलमोस्ट नील है।
5 रन इस ओवर में बने, लेकिन ये बेहतर ओवर था मुदस्सिर का। 106 पर कोई खिलाड़ी आउट नहीं। लाहौर को बड़ा अच्छा आगाज मिल गया है दोनों बैट्समैनों के दरमियान। सेंचुरी पार्टनरशिप, अहमद शहजाद निस सेंचुरी से सिर्फ एक स्ट्रोक दूर हैं। ये बेहतर लाइन है अली ज़रियाब के लिए।
देखिए अली ज़रियाब की हम बैकफुट मूवमेंट की बात कर रहे थे, स्पेशली फास्ट बॉलर्स के ऊपर। तो अली ज़रियाब एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन टैलेंट है, रन्स कर रहे हैं। सो मूविंग टू द हाईएस्ट लेवल आगे जाकर वहाँ पर बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप बॉल की लाइन को कवर करें, क्योंकि बॉलर्स तेज़ होंगे, पिचेस तेज़ होंगी, जो आपको देखने वाले हैं एनालिस्ट वो आपके ऊपर काम करेंगे। तो ऐसे में ये हाई स्कोरिंग जोन है इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में। शॉर्ट एंड वाइड जो बॉल है इसको टॉप क्लास प्लेयर्स स्पेयर नहीं करते, और इसमें जितनी बैकफुट की मूवमेंट बेहतर होगी, अली ज़रियाब का एक और स्कोरिंग शॉट ऐड हो जाएगा, और जो कि रिस्क फ्री है। तो ये बड़ा ज़रूरी है कि अली ज़रियाब जो है अपनी, ऑल्दो के वो रन्स कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इसके बावजूद अपनी बैटिंग को एनालाइज करें कि इसमें मजीद क्या बेहतर कर सकते हैं।
यहाँ क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा खेल है, आपको दिन ब दिन बेहतर होना है, आपको हर ओवर के बाद बेहतर होना है, हर मैच के बाद बेहतरी की गुंजाइश होगी। जाहिर है कि ये तज्जियों की दुनिया में हम जी रहे हैं और आप छुप नहीं सकते कहीं भी।
बजा फरमाया आपने, और मुश्किल हो जाती है अगर आपका एक इनिशियल, जब आप इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में आते हैं और तमाम दुनिया की नज़रें आपके ऊपर होती हैं, तो पहले चंद इनिंग्स आपका कह लीजिए कि हनीमून पीरियड है। उसके बाद आपके ऊपर जो तमाम नज़रें आपके ऊपर मरकूज़ हैं वो यही अंदाज़ा लगाती हैं कि कहाँ पर आपको पकड़ा जा सकता है, कहाँ पे आपकी कमज़ोरी है, और फिर उसके मुताबिक अपने अगले आने वाले मैचेस में लोग प्लान करते हैं। सो एज अ प्लेयर आपको अपने आप को देखते रहना और नई चीज़ों को ऐड करते रहना। 27 ओवर्स का खेल मुकम्मल, 108 पे कोई आउट नहीं लाहौर वाइट्स।
ये बेहतर स्पेल लग रहा है गुलाम मुदस्सिर का, और गेंद छोड़ती हुई गई, इस बार मूवमेंट मिली और साथ साथ बाउंस भी। सेट बैट्समैन को बीट किया बुरी तरह यहाँ मुदस्सिर ने।
जी बिल्कुल, और तकरीबन 2 घंटे का खेल मुकम्मल होने वाला है। धूप से अब पिच में सॉफ्टनेस कम हुई है, और जिसकी वजह से बॉल ज़्यादा जा रही है। देखिए बहुत ही अच्छा बॉल, अवे स्विंग भी हुआ और कैरी भी अच्छा किया। और गुलाम मुदस्सिर वो बॉलर हैं जो लाकर बॉल पटकते हैं पिच पे और ज़्यादा ज़ोर से मारते हैं, हिट द डेक बॉलर हैं। अच्छी जगह, अच्छी लाइन, अगर कंसिस्टेंटली इधर बॉलिंग करें तो पॉसिबल है कि बैटर को खासी परेशानी हो।
इसी एंड से इन्होंने जब पहला स्पेल किया था तो ये स्विंग ढूंढ रहे थे जो कि इनकी नेचुरल लेंथ लगती नहीं थी, और अब क्योंकि ज़्यादा पटक रहे हैं, ज़्यादा कंफर्ट जोन में लग रहे हैं।
हार्ड लेंथ्स पे ज़्यादा पिच करने वाले बॉलर हैं ये, और वहीं पे इनका सक्सेस भी है, स्पेशली सेमी न्यू बॉल के साथ। और अभी जिस तरह की कंडीशन है, जाहिर है पिच पे घास तो है, हल्की फुल्की मूवमेंट तो मिलेगी अगर राइट एरियाज़ में बॉल करते हैं, लेकिन थोड़ा सा पिच जो है उसमें पेस बढ़ गई है धूप लगने की वजह से।
गुलाम मुदस्सिर लियारी से इनका ताल्लुक है। 92 विकेटें पहले ही हासिल कर चुके हैं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में, और अब उम्मीदें लगी हैं। इससे सरफराज ने 2 स्लिप्स और 1 गली खड़ी की है, लेकिन अभी भी जो स्लिप्स हैं उनके दरमियान ये फासला नज़र आ रहा है। पहली और दूसरी स्लिप के दरमियान अच्छा खासा फासला है।
गालिबन जहां से 2-3 दफ़ा बॉल गया है, सरफराज ने उस जगह पर फील्डर लिया है, क्योंकि वो दोनों के दरमियान में है, थोड़ा सा कह लीजिए कि स्लिप के क्लोज है, और जो सेकंड गली है उससे थोड़ा सा दूर है। लेकिन ये तकरीबन वही जगह है जहां से 3 दफ़ा एज लग के जो है ना गेंद 4 रन के लिए गया है।
लेकिन यहाँ नुक्ता ये सलमान, क्योंकि पिच में निस्बतन रफ्तार बढ़ी है, धूप लगने से बॉलर तेज़ बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, स्लिप के फील्डर जो हैं वो अगर फाइन रहे हैं तो बेहतर नहीं होगा। अच्छी डाइव की यहाँ से शफीक ने, अच्छा रोका, यकीनी 4 रन उन्होंने बचाए 109 किसी नुकसान के बगैर। दानिश अजीज अपनी बॉलिंग जारी रखेंगे। 4 ओवर्स में 19 रन दिए हैं, अब तक विकेट से महरूम है। विकेट का खाना खाली जो है कम कम कसाफी स्टेडियम में दिखाई देता है पहले दिन, पहले सेशन में।
जी बिल्कुल, अहमद शहजाद जो है आज काफ़ी पॉजिटिव खेले, बहुत सारे खूबसूरत शॉट्स खेले और 2 रन दूर हैं अपनी नेक्स्ट सेंचुरी से। और हाँ, हम देख रहे हैं कि काफ़ी देर से इस कोशिश में है कि कोई बॉल उनके जोन में आए और उससे फ़ायदा उठाएं, जिस तरह आज सुबह से वो फ्लुएंसी के साथ अपने स्ट्रोक्स खेल रहे हैं। लेकिन दानिश अजीज़ जो हैं अली ज़रियाब के बरक्स जब अहमद को बॉल करते हैं तो लगता है डिफरेंट बॉलर है।
फुल टॉस और इसे डिस्पैच किया मिड विकेट की जानिब, चौका लगाकर अपनी 37वीं निस्फ सेंचुरी तक पहुंच गए अहमद शहजाद। उम्दा स्ट्रोक प्ले का मुजाहरा उनकी जानिब से देखने को मिला और अब हम कह सकते हैं कि फॉर्म बहाल हो गई अहमद की मुकम्मल।
जी बिल्कुल, आज कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल ही और है अहमद का और बहुत सारे खूबसूरत शॉट्स उन्होंने खेले और ये तो एक 1 हैंडेड शॉट था। ऑब्वियसली ये बॉल उन्हें मिली जैसे ही हमने कहा कि अहमद के खिलाफ जो है दानिश अजीज़ डिफरेंट बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं और उसी वक्त उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, हिसाब बराबर करते हैं, ये तो ज़्यादती ना हो जाए। लेकिन अहमद शहजाद ने पूरा फ़ायदा उठाया और 4 रन हासिल किए, 37वीं निस्फ सेंचुरी मुकम्मल की और बहुत ही अच्छा रन रेट लाहौर वाइट्स का। ये सेशन पूरी तरह से उनके नाम अभी तक।
सरफराज अहमद की मुश्किल ये है कि 2 स्पिनर्स उनने आजमाए हैं, तकरीबन 50 रन उनने दे दिए हैं 10-11 ओवर्स में नोमान अली और दानिश ने मिलकर। और इस बार गेंद हवा में रही, फील्डर लगे थे इंटरेस्टेड, आफ्ताब को खासा पीछे दौड़कर जाना पड़ा, खतरे से खाली नहीं था ये शॉट।
लंच से करीब 1 बॉल बाकी है और ऐसे में इस तरह का शॉट खेलना बहुत ही कॉन्फिडेंस और थोड़ा सा केयरलेस होने की भी निशानदेही करता है।
29वां ओवर जाता रहा और साथ साथ ये पहला सेशन भी जो लाहौर वाइट्स ने जीता है। 115 रन दोनों ओपनर्स ने मिलकर बनाए हैं। अली ज़रियाब और अहमद शहजाद ने बड़ी उम्दा बैटिंग की, अच्छी बैटिंग पिच पर उन्होंने ये सेंचुरी स्टैंड कायम किया। इस सीज़न में दूसरा ये मौका है, अब ये 100 से आगे निकलने में कामयाब हुए पार्टनरशिप के तौर पर।
बिल्कुल, बहुत ही बेहतरीन पार्टनरशिप, बड़ी सॉलिड पार्टनरशिप। 29 ओवर्स खेले, 117 रन बनाए, 4 का रन रेट थ्रू आउट और एब्सोल्यूट कंट्रोल के साथ खेले। कोई मौका नहीं मिला, कोई मिस चांस हमें नज़र नहीं आया और डेफिनेटली सरफराज जो हैं और उनके साथ जो सीनियर प्लेयर्स सोच रहे होंगे कि क्या ये फैसला दुरुस्त था जो टॉस जीत कर उन्होंने पहले बॉलिंग की, क्योंकि पिच से उस तरह की मदद किसी वक्त भी नज़र नहीं आई किसी। हालांकि मीर हमजा जो हैं वो बहुत एक्सपीरियंस फास्ट बॉलर और अपनी स्विंग बॉलिंग के लिए जाने जाते हैं, लेकिन उन्हें भी इस पिच के ऊपर कोई खातिर खा मदद नहीं मिली और बैटर्स ने इनिशियली चंद ओवर्स के बाद बहुत ही कंट्रोल के साथ खुले स्ट्रोक्स अपने खेले।
16 चौके इस सेशन में लाहौर ने लगाए, इससे अंदाज़ा लगाया सकता है उनकी बालादस्ती का। सरफराज अहमद ने टॉस जीता और लाहौर को उन्होंने पहले खेलने की दावत दी, लेकिन उनके बॉलर्स को ये फैसला ज़्यादा रास नहीं आया। ये दोनों अंपायर आए थे गुलाम सरवर, उनका पहला मैच है राशिद रियाज के साथ। मिस फील्डिंग से स्कोरिंग का आगाज हुआ और ये चांस क्रिएट कर चले थे। ये बहुत ज़्यादा रन जो हैं अली ज़रियाब को विकेटों के पीछे मिले। अहमद शहजाद जो हैं वो अच्छे लगे, जो ही फास्ट बॉलर्स अटैक से हटे गेंद की शाइन कम होना शुरू हुई। अहमद शहजाद की बैटिंग में खास चमक आ गई और उसके बाद वो दोनों जानिब हावी नजर आए पिच के। खासतौर पर अली नौमान जो हैं उनके सामने आज रिसीविंग एंड पर दिखाई दिए। कट शॉट लगे और फिर कई फ्री बीज मिली अली ज़रियाब को। अहमद शहजाद और अली ज़रियाब के दरमियान ये पार्टनरशिप बढ़ती चली गई और दोनों ने अपनी नेक्स्ट सेंचुरियां मुकम्मल कर ली और अब वो लंबी इनिंग्स के लिए इस वक्त तैयार हो चुके हैं। यकीनी तौर पर इस फुल टॉस पर अहमद शहजाद ने भी अपनी नेक्स्ट सेंचुरी मुकम्मल की और साथ साथ इस सेशन की कार्रवाई भी। तो इस वक्त खाने का वक्फा है कज़ाफी स्टेडियम लाहौर में, जिसके बाद हमारी ये ट्रांसमिशन जारी रहेगी।
Welcome back once again to Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore for round 4 game between Lahore Whites and Karachi Whites. It's been an amazing morning for Lahore Whites. The two batters, set batters, still on crease. The two openers. It's day 1 of Quaid-e-Azam Trophy 2023-24 from Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore. It's been a fantastic session for Ali Zaryab and Ahmed Shahzad. Both still there, not out. 61 for Ali Zaryab, 54 for Ahmed Shahzad. It's 115 for no loss. Lahore Whites, after being put in by Sarfaraz Ahmed. It has been a struggle for the bowlers of Karachi Whites. There's nothing in the wickets column. Mir Hamza bowled well for his 5 overs 17 runs. Ghulam Mudassir was quick for his 7 overs 21 runs. Aftab, the youngster, 5 overs 25. Noman Ali, I think Ahmed Shahzad really played him well. Gave away 27 runs. Danish Aziz also used for 5 overs. Gave away 25 runs. Still searching for their first wicket. Karachi Whites, as I welcome along Shah Faisal with me in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Ali, and a very good afternoon all. Definitely a session to savor for the Lahore White openers, but they can really make it big. Sun has been beating down on this Gaddafi Stadium pitch during the luncheon break, and there is an ideal session to look forward to.
Absolutely, totally agree with you on that. Ahmed Shahzad has been flawless in the first session, and here's Ali Zaryab, who has complimented him brilliantly. Ahmed Shahzad had more flair, more strokes to his inning, but Ali Zaryab on the other hand quietly scoring runs, playing in his limitations, playing according to the situation. Overall, a disappointment for Karachi region after winning the toss, bowling first. Nothing has actually happened for them, Faisal.
Yeah, I think a few people misread the pitch, and if someone like Sarfraz, Asad Shafiq, Khurram Manzoor, Mir Hamza, with plenty of first-class cricket and international cricket between them, if they can misread a pitch, you could bet that anyone can make that mistake. But now, that is gone. That's out of their control now. What is right for them now is to just hit the right areas, build some pressure, come up with plans, make inroads into this batting lineup.
Ghulam Mudassir to start off the proceedings. Length delivery to start off. Ghulam Mudassir, I think a lot was expected of him as he's coming into this game after 2 fifers. Ghulam Mudassir, but the length and the line has not been really according to the pitch.
But probably he was the pick of the bowlers in that first session. He was the one who induced no less than 4 edges of Ali Zaryab's bat in that slip cordon. The staggering of the slip cordon was such that each and every time that ball found the gap. Now they are pretty wide open gaps. Slip cordon is more scattered. They're covering more area, but it also means there are bigger gaps between them. 2 slips and a gully.
This was better, but the quality of these two batters, they've left alone anything that is outside the off stump, especially this man on your screen, Ali Zaryab. It's been magnificent. Already scored a big 100 in this season and is looking good for another one.
There was a phase in Ali Zaryab's innings where he was just tentatively pushing at it, but either side of that, his discipline outside the off stump has been great.
Yeah, talking about the pitch or the captain misreading the pitch. Well, in my opinion, I think the only chance that bowling team has is the first star or so. I think that is what Sarfraz thought early on, that first star, you got to extract anything that is out there in the pitch. So I don't think so. I will blame the captain of misreading the pitch. It was the chance they had to take. They had to give the bowlers enough chance at the first star. I'll blame it to the bowlers who were not right with the line and length. The plan was right from this man.
It can happen. The reason we made the point, and you elaborated on it, that cricket is such a funny game that even players of the kind of experience that the Karachi Whites players have, if they can err in judgment, anyone can. That's the beauty of this game. Such is the depth and the variations, and that's why we talk about the variables. On the face of it, almost everyone thought that this wicket will do plenty, but it hasn't happened.
This is good bowling.
But what's key now in this session, I'm really interested to, after that almost 2.5, 3 hours of sun beating down on it, it is expected to quicken up, and that will allow batters the opportunity for stroke play, but also will have something for the bowlers in terms of extra pace and bounce, both spinners and the quicker men. But again, it won't come easy. You have to build pressure through bowling good areas consistently.
This is better. This is a brilliant start from Ghulam Mudassir after lunch session. It's 115 for none. I really like the approach that Ahmed Shahzad. So he was of this opinion that maybe a positive intent, and we have seen that happen from these two batters. You can tell by the runs they have scored in the first session. And
definitely, without even looking at the scores, you could just tell the amount of boundaries they scored. And that is also something to do with the pitch as well. This pitch will allow for batters to play their strokes, more all-round ability to play strokes. Certain pitches in the previous games, you won't have seen many cuts and pulls in the first session. But this pitch, it does offer that opportunity to the batters. And I think it will even get better as the day progresses.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, that the pitch will quicken up. We're all waiting.
What do we expect from Noman Ali, who's such an experienced bowler? Now he's bowling from the pavilion end. Before lunch he was bowling from the college end. He's set a pretty regulation field. This is his strength.
It would be interesting to see, Faisal, which pace he bowls at. I think that's where I have seen spinners struggle with the pace they bowl at on Gaddafi Stadium.
Yeah, that's a key point. Before lunch, he tempted Ahmed Shahzad and Ali Zaryab with slower, loopier deliveries. And on one of the occasions, Ahmed couldn't time the ball properly and was lucky it landed over mid-on.
The footwork has been brilliant.
And that is probably what Noman, being so experienced, would have gauged by now. So he will pose a different challenge in this session to the batters. Best by Ahmed Shahzad, the way he used his feet, didn't allow Noman to settle. And then this left-hand, right-hand combination also. That is a headache for the bowlers, trying to build control.
The pace again, slower in the air. And as you said, it's all experience of Noman Ali. We saw Irfan for Lahore Whites. He was rushing to it. Zahid Mahmood, I think he was disappointing. For Multan, he was bowling quicker through the air. But this is quality. Bowled again.
We talk about left-hand, right-hand combination, but both of these batters have completely different approach against Noman. We'll talk about it later when we come back. 160.
Ahmed Shahzad. Ahmed Shahzad has been flawless. Just loved his intent this morning. I think he has reinvented himself in this inning. I've never seen him play with this flair in this season, especially last couple of seasons also that we have seen him. But the type of winning, the intent that he has shown, the swing of the bat, it's just been amazing. He's still there on 55. Have a look at the strokes that he has played. The shot selection has been amazing. The use of the feet has been, he has let it go a few deliveries too.
Clearly that 100 couple of games ago, it's really propelled him into some good form. You see, today he was in a better rhythm. You see, both against pace and spin, going on to that front foot. He's set for many more. And he'll be disappointed if this innings doesn't go on and fetch him another 100.
He looks all set for that. That is brilliant bowling. He's been the only hope so far in Karachi White's bowling lineup. Ghulam Mudassir coming into this game. We've been talking about him, couple of fifers already, but that was Ahmedabad. This is Gaddafi Stadium. You'll have to bend your back.
That ball did come in a little bit, but he's just undercooking his plan. The first delivery, which was angled away, good pace and carry. He could have continued it for a few more deliveries before bring that one in and surprise Ahmed Shahzad. Undercooking his plans, it may seem.
That has been the quality of this partnership. The regular rotation of strike. Ali Zaryab and Ahmed Shahzad both complementing each other. The partnership 117 at the moment. Still look good. And talking about Ahmed Shahzad, I think we've been seeing him from last couple of years in domestic. After 2016, when he was hit on his head, I think this is the best he has played. That is what I have witnessed in front of me. He's been flawless, he's been fluent, he's been attacking, he's been positive. It's working for him. This is what Ahmed Shahzad used to be. And I'm glad that he has reinvented himself in this inning and carries on playing like that.
And he's a treat to watch when he's in this kind of mood. We all know what a good player he is. All his fans and supporters have been wishing on him to do well. But this season, he's looking a different player already. Although it's early days, difficult tests will come when they travel up north, the Lahore Whites. But he's given himself the best chance to deal with those conditions because he's got himself into form. So has young Ali Zaryab. You cannot take the credit away from him. This left-hand, right-hand combination has really worked well for Lahore. They have run well between the wickets, rotated the strike, didn't allow the bowlers to fix a plan and then work on one particular batsman, because that rotation has really been changing plans for the bowlers. And like I said, they're two different players. They have different approaches as well. So different lengths are required, different plans are required for both these batters.
Walked away towards onside. It's going. Danish Aziz does well. Not before they come back for the third. This is good running, good positive cricket by Lahore Whites. Putting the pressure on the fielder and turning twos into three. 32 gone, 120 for none. It's a very good point you made earlier, Faisal, about two different kind of players batting together. Ahmed Shahzad and Ali Zaryab complementing each other. I think credit has to be given to Ahmed Shahzad in this inning particularly, because he's been very fluent, always searching for runs, and that has made, because Ahmed Shahzad is playing so well.
Yeah, that's how good partnerships work. You complement each other.
Off the back foot, punched. Doesn't have enough legs. Ghulam Mudassir doing the chase, just a couple of runs again. Ali Zaryab has played well, but there have been lots of edges. He's been edgy in the first hour. When I say that, they both played together. Ahmed Shahzad has been fluent from ball one. Ali Zaryab took his time, a few edges here or there. He was shaky early on. But because Ahmed was so fluent, that took off that pressure that was on him. And now it's all easy for him too.
And also when we say good partnerships, being two different players, Noman has found the right pace to bowl to Ahmed Shahzad. But then again, to Ali Zaryab, he's really coping easily with that slower pace from Noman. Bowling over the wicket now to the left-hander. First hint of Ali Zaryab using his feet. We've seen Ahmad Shahzad do that constantly. But now Ali Zaryab skipping down, making Noman think.
He'll just milk it for one. It's way too easy at the moment.
But I haven't seen Ali Zaryab go over the top against Noman, so that giving an easy single, easy rotation of strike, something Sarfraz may think about. But although now Noman has got Ahmad Shahzad, just 2 deliveries to left to go in the over, and that contest will resume because Ahmad is not going to hold back against Noman.
Absolutely. The battle to watch. Noman against Ahmed. Noman against a positive Ahmed in this inning. You can tell by the way he's moving around. It just shows.
Yeah, that mid-off fielder is hanging 2/3 of the way back. And that cover fielder is about 5-10 yards deeper than your regulation cover. Tempting Ahmed to go over the top.
Yourself.
And he tries. Ahmed Shahzad. It's an important inning for him. 56 at the moment. As we come to the end of 33 overs, it's 123 for none.
Because Ahmad Shahzad was struggling. Ramiz Aziz should have been more proactive, should have read the situation. Look how Ahmad Shahzad is just sloping. He's not ready. But Ghulam Mudassir didn't take his position. Ahmad Shahzad was speeding towards the end, but then the throw wasn't good enough to test him.
Yeah, you could clearly hear Sarfraz Ahmed telling it to Ghulam Mudassir that you should have been there. What you were mentioning, onto the stumps, and then a better throw might have put pressure on Ahmad Shahzad. And that's what you want to see, an active captain. And the good thing is that he's scoring runs also with the bat. He's confident, and that is what that confidence is reflecting in his captaincy also. And the team is winning. They won 1 game, draw 2. They're at the top of the table. Bowlers getting the bonus points, batters scoring runs. This is a different game. This is a different challenge. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic bowling. Without wonderful spell, that is from Mudassir.
That is a terrific delivery. He's been bowling on a length. This time he pushed it further up, looking for that swing. And it did have a little bit of swing. Static feet though from Ali Zaryab. But that length was so tempting. And a little bit of movement. Very unlucky there. Ghulam Mudassir. He's come so close all day. But that wicket hasn't come for him just yet.
Very interesting footwork there from Ali Zaryab. The ball was beaten. Have a look at that footwork, very interesting. The back foot have such different plans. You have to have that out of the box thinking. I'll definitely go with Sarfraz and Noman Ali with this field setting against Ali Zaryab. It's good bowling.
That flight is very tempting for Ali Zaryab, but then the field is back, so he cannot take any chances unless he's really certain about it. Noman is trying to weave his magic.
But then again, if you keep on bowling towards the leg stump, it's not going to work. Or maybe he's setting it up for that one odd delivery outside the off stump. Because with this line of length, it's way too easy for him to negotiate.
I think he's testing his patience. Testing his patience, that's the key, and that's Noman's strength as well. He'll bowl on a spot all day long.
Nicely done. There were two fielders placed. Just played it right between them. Wonderful cricket. 35 gone. 127 for none.
Last ball, last over. Noman was really disappointed with his fielding effort. Look at him and Sarfraz. They were both not happy with Danish Aziz because they had plugged that area so much that they didn't want Ali to get off strike. They were really not happy, both of them, Sarfraz and Noman.
And rightly so, Faisal. I think I will agree with Noman. And it just lifts up everyone. Watching the senior member diving around, throwing himself away, stopping those important runs.
Talking about the laundry bill, I think Sarfraz, Asad Shafiq will keep them busy the way he's threw himself around.
It's on the house, don't worry. 131, still searching for their first wicket. Karachi Whites winning the toss, bowling first. It just hasn't happened. Nothing has happened. And now it's all about patience, waiting game, waiting for the batters to make a mistake. But for that to happen, you've got to create a situation. You've got to put the pressure. But that is not happening. It's way too easy. Look at the strike rates also. 75 of 122 deliveries. That is good. Ahmed Shahzad on the other hand, very, very fluent, 56 of 92.
What we've seen previously in this partnership as well, Ali Zaryab somehow has more strike. Fahad Iqbal in action, being urged on by his teammates. But look at that distribution of strike between these two. 122 deliveries for Ali Zaryab. 92 for Ahmed Shahzad, and that was the case in the previous game as well when both of these got their hundreds. Somehow Ali Zaryab knows how to steal the strike.
Absolutely. I think he was shaky early on. We were talking about those edges going through gully area, slip area, and at that point Ahmed Shahzad did help him. And now that the situation or the condition is easy, Ali Zaryab is making most of it. The way he's played towards point, the way he's punched. Fantastic to see. Oh, again, fantastic bowling. Without much luck. Ghulam Mudassir, you've really bowled well. He's continuously beaten the batters outside the off stump. This one is just one example. How did that miss? You got to be very unlucky not to be getting a wicket on this delivery. Well bowled, Ghulam Mudassir, as we come to the end of 36 overs. 132 for none.
The command over the batting continues for Lahore Whites by the two opening batters. They have literally nullified anything that was on offer from the surface and against a very lethal bowling attack. I've got former Test captain with me, Salman Butt. What went wrong for the Karachi Whites?
Thank you, Marina. Firstly, I think they'll be rowing their decision to bowl first because not much happened in the air off the pitch. Pitch it up. But there was nothing that was happening for him, and the batters capitalized since then. A little bit for Ghulam Mudassir. He extracted something out of the pitch by banging it hard, but then wasn't very lucky. Had a few edges go through, the slip cordon, and now we've seen him consistently beat Ahmed Shahzad outside the off stump, but there's not much to show on the scorecard for the Karachi team, and Lahore Whites on the other hand have been ruling the sessions so far.
I have to talk about the quality of Ali Zaryab and Ahmed Shahzad. They've been patient enough early on and then just capitalizing and being positive, looking for the runs. And again, as you said, Ghulam Mudassir has bowled his heart out. That was close.
Here we see some exaggerated flight, trying to entice the batter into doing something wrong. He managed to get a single towards square leg. Yes, the batting has been good. Anything they have seen in their half or anything there to put away, a couple of them which he could not time, and luckily he evaded the fielders. Has been all good for the batters so far.
We have to be really overcritical. I think Karachi white bowlers might have lacked a tactical plan against these two. Early on we've seen that even Mudassir and Mir Hamza kept on bowling on strength of Ali Zaryab, whereas he struggles outside off stump.
Yeah, I think to start with they hoped for some swing. That's why I think they bowled after winning the toss, and when after realizing in the first 10 overs, let's say, they didn't get anything, and then they just went along the flow. Then they thought, okay, let's see, the left arm spinner comes on, maybe he extracts something, some sort of grip out of this moisture. Nothing happened for him. On the other side, the batters, they just kept taking advantage of anything loose, and they never really recovered, Karachi Whites. Only Ghulam Mudassir has looked apart so far. The rest have been just chasing the game, and all credit to both the batters, Ahmed Shahzad and Ali Zaryab.
77 for Ali Zaryab. Ahmed Shahzad looking really good on 57. Karachi yet to find a breakthrough. They are looking for it. They are struggling. Again, has been superb bowling by Ghulam Mudassir. Now Mir Hamza comes back into his second spell. Let's see if he can be lucky for Karachi Whites.
Yeah, possibly, maybe that Sarfaraz, because he's experienced enough and he has captained Pakistan and done so well in so many runs, maybe could have enticed Ahmed Shahzad into chasing one of those swinging deliveries from Ghulam Mudassir. But Ahmed Shahzad did one thing good. He did not let his bat go far away from his body, kept it really close. Maybe he was just looking to play the in-swing ball, and which is the way an opening batter should bat in these conditions or any conditions.
The back foot, but straight to the fielder. You've faced enough lethal bowling in your time. Obviously, you've opened for Pakistan, left armers enough. I just wanted to touch on one point. For a right-handed batter, is it necessary, or maybe you can adjust your stance if a left-arm bowler is bowling over the wicket, just slightly open up a bit, or not?
Well, that you do, but then you have to adjust every other shot. To play that one ball with an open stance, that means you take your front foot a little bit back from its original position. So that means the ball which previously you were driving towards covers now is a bit away from you. So you will have to, adjust one shot and readjust all the others. So it's a mind game, and you have to be very alert when you do these sorts of little adjustments. You get one and you lose one, and you need to realize which one you get and which one you don't have to go to. But at this time, I think Ahmed Shahzad, he has been getting enough loose stuff that he doesn't require to make an adjustment. He can just wait, and the bowlers haven't disappointed him so far.
Yeah, they haven't really threatened either Ahmed Shahzad or Ali Zaryab with either pace or swing. And rightly said, you need to gain something and lose something at the same time. They've been spot on with their approach. There was a time when Lahore, and even now, Lahore Whites has been keeping an upper hand over Karachi Whites. I remember a match for Karachi and Lahore back in 2004. You were part of it?
Yes, indeed. That was the time before we left for India to play that Platinum Jubilee game in November. I remember playing a 4-day game here against Karachi in 2004 before the India one day.
Beautifully played. They've got protection there. That was the first match between Lahore and Karachi here at Qaddafi Stadium, and you scored a double 100. Fond memories?
Yes, of course. I remember getting dropped on knot, and then I thought that if I just stay here and don't do anything, the pitch had enough, which as a player you don't like to have a look once the match is gone. There we have Khurram Shahzad, one of the prolific run getters in domestic circuit. He has been scoring loads of runs in all the formats in domestic cricket and has been around for a long time now.
There was a chance, a definite chance, and it's been let down once again. Khurram Manzoor, we were talking about his century, but this is a big blow.
Yes, as we spoke about Khurram Manzoor and straight away Ali Zaryab, it seemed as if he was offering some catch practice in the slips, but our statistician just told us that it is 199th match, and the way he attempted this catch, it seemed as if there had been no break in those 199 games.
Should be ready. That'll be disappointing for Karachi White, and Noman, who's been bowling really well, did create a chance but really couldn't capitalize on it.
So there we have the first let-off, and we were talking about the let-offs, and it has come along the way when the batter is on 80 runs, and that too, last 2 runs also came when this let-off happened. So batters get their lucky breaks, but on this kind of pitch where batters have been all over the bowlers, the fielders need to support their bowling by making better efforts and by grabbing anything that is in the air.
Bowlers are already putting the hard yards in. These are the chances you need to grab on. Let's have a look again.
There we see, surprising to see, had he caught it, what was Ali Zaryab trying to do on that ball? Suddenly, I think he's been giving catches to the slip fielders in practice during the morning, and he just saw the ball in that place and tried to play it that way. I'm sure he would have been more disappointed than anybody else had that been caught, because it was not the bowler, not the ball, not the pitch, only Ali Zaryab offering that chance to the fielding side.
Cuts it. Goes through. We'll have to see if the fielder can chase it down, but it looks like the ball will win the race. Beautifully played off the...
Yes, ample time there for Ali Zaryab to rock back, make some room, and then punch it through the cover point region for 4 runs. And I must say, Noman Ali, he's so experienced, but he hasn't been consistent today. He has offered run-scoring deliveries every now and then, and something you do not expect from a bowler like him who's done so well at international level. But he's not having a great day today.
Tossed up this time. That's a better length. Just try to break the ball off the surface. Good over for Lahore Whites and Zaryab as well. 144 after 39. It might have been a batting paradise for the batters at Qaddafi Stadium, but we've seen some really casual fielding. Captain for you, Sarfaraz Ahmed. He's quite chirpy behind the stumps, always motivating his teammates.
Yes, and at the moment, nothing much to do. He's decided to pump his chest a bit, did some press-ups, looked impressive, and I'm sure he's waiting for a nick towards himself.
Driven, and driven beautifully through the gap. That's one classic shot from Ahmed Shahzad. Anything pitched up, he'll pounce on it and he'll punish you.
Overpitched again, and Ahmed Shahzad is in no mood to let anything loose go by today. He's middled everything that he's gone after today, and there we see another ball pitched in his zone and dismissed. A lot of control and authority today, and I must say, Mir Hamza, he has seen there is no movement. Even with the new ball, there was no movement pitching it up. So he needs to hit the short length, hard length for some time now to induce some different stroke from the batter. But it seems that even he has been impatient today while bowling.
Need to adjust the lines and lengths according to the situation. Ahmed Shahzad is already quite deep in his crease. That's a better length. That's the length you were talking about.
That's the length where he can stop Ahmed Shahzad from playing those wonderful shots that we have seen today from him. But when in every over, if you keep going for a boundary, the batter, he does not have any problem being patient to the good ones. So only consistently bowling at hard lengths and not allowing the batter to score free runs will get him into a frame of mind where he makes some mistakes. Otherwise, he'll just keep enjoying.
Again, just leaving anything way outside off stump. How important as a batter, especially an opener batter, is to be aware where your off stump is?
Well, this is one of the keys of batting at top order, especially opening the batting. You must know, especially in those conditions where the ball is doing a bit. And if you know where your off stump is, then it's very easy for you to decide which line and length to play and which ones to leave. And for the bowler, it becomes very difficult. There we see a little bit of off stump we can see as Ahmed Shahzad leaves the delivery. Ideally, he should cover that, but maybe he's not going back and across. He's just standing his ground, and because he's middling everything so far today, and there is no greater pace to make him think any differently, so he's been in his comfort zone all throughout. And it's been a bit disappointing having seen Mir Hamza is so experienced. Since morning, he hasn't changed the angle today. He hasn't bowled around the wicket where Ahmed Shahzad will have to play the angle. And this is where he will not suddenly cover all the stumps. So even as he drives, you can still see his off stump. So this is where he needs to change the angle, and then so many experienced players, they need to speak to him. 40 gone, 148 for none, Lahore Whites.
Karachi Whites definitely have to think something out of the box. The usual tactics haven't been working for them. You need to be proactive, try something different to put these two batters under some sort of test.
Yes, they need something that will inspire the whole team. They need something which fires them up a bit, improves their body language. At the moment, everything is looking just a routine matter and lethargic to an extent.
Risty from Ali Zaryab, and we've seen that all day long. This ground has been your hunting home as well. You've scored 1,589 runs, averaging 71, and your best 290 was on this ground.
Well, I've been lucky to have scored over here because definitely this is one of the best grounds in Pakistan and in the world. And as a child, especially if you're born in Lahore or raised up over here, it's your dream to come here and score big runs. And the luckiest part is that when I scored those 290 runs, the opposition had Shoaib Akhtar, Yasir Arafat, Rao Iftikhar and Sohail Tanveer. So all those were Pakistani test bowlers, test match bowlers when I got those runs. So that is definitely as long as I have my memory going all right, that is something definitely I'll remember.
One sheer innings of quality for sure.
That tournament used to be called the Pentangular, and when all the season had ended, the top 75 performers would be divided into 5 teams, and that is where the ultimate quality came into play. And those all 75 players was the top performers of that particular domestic season. And that is why something like that has to happen. So it just becomes a filtration plant where you start from regions, you get into departments, and that you get your best 75 into one tournament and give them the ultimate grind, from where it's much easier for the selectors to pick whoever they want for the team.
Good quick single. Easy cruising for Lahore Whites.
But that's well bowled. This is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see batsmen trying to drive against the spin. That is where you think Noman has bowled well. And if he is consistent with this line, anything that spins a bit sharper or stays low will create a chance for him to take a wicket. But he needs to be consistent on this line and length.
Down the track.
Watch it, Nomi.
Nearly yorked himself, Ahmed Shahzad. 151 without loss. Now, what can Karachi Whites do? We've seen their usual bowlers. They haven't had any success. Danish Aziz has struggled a lot. We've got maybe Fahad Iqbal, who can bowl a little bit of leg spin. You can try a part-timer as well.
Well, Danish is a part-timer anyway. And those haven't been successful so far. The regular spinners seem to be very easy, the way Ali Zaryab and Ahmed Shahzad has been batting. So I think it's the onus is on the specialist bowlers to create something, and they're not someone who's just come up and have started their careers in first class cricket. They're much experienced, and they should be able to maintain at least one line and length and ask the batter to go through that particular side. At the moment, I think Sarfraz is also in that state of mind where the bowlers, because they're bowling inconsistently, it is hard for any captain to set a field for inconsistent lines and lengths. It becomes so difficult as a captain if your bowlers are...
They've got protection there.
This field is designed as if it was mid-wicket. And really, Mir Hamza is struggling with his pace, and a shorter length gives so much time to the batters to do whatever they want to do with that length of his. So he should be focusing on the hard lengths and maybe a little bit wider off the off stump, where the batter has to take a chance and then pack that particular offside field and ask a question. Bowl 4 maiden overs over there. Nobody has thought about bowling maiden overs here. Patience is the key in the longer format. The same goes for the bowlers as well, not only the batters.
Repetitions do count in a longer format, especially when the batters are well settled. And if you beat them a few or don't give them easy freebies, they start to think about why I'm not scoring, and then they might try a false shot. But again, you have to be consistent to extract that sort of shot out of the batters.
And partnerships are very important as you bat and as you bowl. But from both ends, we see that Sarfraz is getting no respite.
Way outside.
Shot and wide and left alone by Ali Zaryab. Only Ghulam Mudassir has been impressive. And out of all the Karachi bowlers, he has been the one who's consistently bowled in the right areas.
I would like to know from you, because you have played high quality cricket in all formats, how did you switch on between the formats as a batter?
Well, the transition from the longer to the shorter format is much easier. So when you play, you prepare for the longer format mostly. It's easier to get into the mold for the shorter format. I remember we were playing Quaid-e-Azam Trophy in the last 3 seasons, and every season, mid-season, we had National T20. So we had played first-class games, and suddenly in 3 days' time, we had to play a first National T20 game and play the tournament. And all 3 years, I had a very good time playing National T20. And the transition, the shot selections seemed to come so naturally because you've taken your time at the crease so much. So this bowling in lengths, batting in lengths, they have been the key, and there we have the wicket. Lapse of concentration maybe, Ahmed Shahzad too casual, and luckily Karachi Whites have got their first wicket courtesy lapse of concentration.
Lazy shot from Ahmed Shahzad, and Noman Ali finally having a breakthrough. Karachi Whites with their first success. He's been consistent. Numan Ali testing Ahmed Shahzad. He bounces down the wicket, but he missed the ball completely. And but look at that. Just rocked himself, looking to work into the onside. Missed it.
Yeah, this is a better angle to see that Ahmed Shahzad wanted to play this ball on the onside, but he was very casual, did not execute the shot in the way it should have been. The head was behind, and the head would have been over the ball. He would have had better chances of connection. So it's 153 for 1, 42.4 overs, and drinks it is.
बॉलिंग करने का फैसला किया। आबिद अली एक और इनफॉर्म बैट्समैन, पिछले मैच में सेंचुरी बनाई थी, वो मैदान में पहुंचे हैं और कराची ने सुख का सांस लिया होगा। अली
आबिद अली काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस्ड हैं, एवरेज बहुत शानदार है 40 की और हाईएस्ट स्कोर भी 249 रन है। कन्वर्जन रेट 100 और 38-50 इस लेवल पे बना चुके हैं और सेंचुरी जो की आप जैसे आप कह रहे थे बहुत ही शानदार सेंचुरी थी। 164 रन नॉट आउट बनाए थे। खास बात ये थी कि बहुत ही कंट्रोल्ड इनिंग थी, बहुत ही स्टाइलिश इनिंग थी, रन्स बहुत कमाल से किए। लेकिन नजर डालेंगे हम एक बार फिर अहमद शहजाद के विकेट पे, बहुत ही केयरलेस शॉट में कहूँगा, बहुत ही लेजी शॉट कहेंगे जो अहमद ने खेली।
अगले कदम पर बहुत ज़्यादा आए बगैर खेला आबिद अली ने, अच्छा ओवर इख्तिताम को पहुंचा जिसके आखिर में देते हुए भी नजर आए और ये गेंद थोड़ी सी नीचे भी रही लेकिन बहुत पहले निकलने का खमियाजा भुगतना पड़ा।
या ऐसा लगा थोड़ा टाइट